Go.
Do you really think you have a chance against us, Mr. Cowboy?
Hey, motherfucker. What do you like to do?
Oh, I don't know. Play chess. Screw.
Well, let's play chess.
They give off to Jonathan Taylor. Jump cutting his way close to the goal line. He's in there. Touchdown. I-N-D-Y. Jonathan Taylor.
Wheeler finds Quan from the logo.
Here's Halliburton into the front court. Mishandled it, but gets a shot. Hits it. Hits it.
John, I have never been better to be on the air with you here in Indianapolis, a place where so many of my dreams have come true.
The Ride with JMV on 93.5 and 107.5. The Fan.
Hey, welcome in. We're at the Media Center. Is this floor 3 or 2? Where am I? That is Nick Yman, who is joining us right here from the IMS Radio Network and the greatest spectacle in racing, trying to help me figure out exactly what floor I am on right now. I will tell you this. Normally we're in Pagoda Plaza, but we are going to be compromised because of the inbound weather. And I'm not trying to persuade anybody not to come out here, not to be a part of the concert. That is still going to go on, Counting Crows, Switchfoot later on this afternoon. But we have equipment that my man Nick Lopez wants to protect, and I get that. So we can live to fight in other days. So keep that in mind. We are not in our normal location. Now, on race day morning, me and Tony Katz and a cast of thousands will be down there beginning at 6 a.m., 6 until 11 on race day morning. Tomorrow night, the JMV Takeover is live from Lot 6A in the Bronze Fun Time Camper, and I've heard a lot of folks that are going to be there, and you can too. It is all-inclusive. You don't need a wristband. You can get right in and join us for the all-request Saturday night, tomorrow night on B105.7. I know that DJ Skids will be there. He'll be taking requests live. I know that Laura Steele is going to join us, and I've heard from a ton of folks that are going to be a part of that. That is tomorrow night, and we'll be giving away also tomorrow night the JMV Sucks Premier Weight Loss Cottage Cheese tank tops that we were giving away a little bit earlier today as well. I'll get into all that coming up. Gigi Garner, who is the daughter of just an incredible Indy 500 fan, IndyCar fan, but the legendary James Garner, his daughter, joins us coming up at the bottom of the hour. And then whomever else slides by, I think Chelsea Helms of Fox 59 or CBS 4 or wherever the hell she works is going to join us coming up a little bit later too. But there's Nick. Speaking of wherever the hell he works, Nick Yeoman of the IMS Radio Network is here, and he also does NASCAR. But you're not doing you're not like Catherine Legg and trying to do the double, are you?
No, I wanted to. I don't have any rich friends with helicopters or planes. And I heard that I'd have to put on some of that elf cosmetic makeup that Catherine's got on her car. So
right on.
I don't think that would work very well. So
You make us all look a little bit better, that cosmetic makeup, though, Nick. Let me tell you.
It's like
I'm not above it.
Lipstick on a pig, I think.
Well, I mean, when you did TV, they took me out and they said, we're going to have you put on your own makeup. And I thought, really? And I did it. So we did it for about 3 years. How you doing?
I'm good, man. I just checked the big thing off my career bucket list. I just caught a hot dog race out in turn number 1.
You did?
Yes, we did the hot dog race, the Oscar Mayer Wienermobile, the Weeny 500 on the IMS Radio Network. So, such a prestigious event.
Who's in charge of that idea here? Because that works out well. I always look at it in terms of this. If it works out well and people love it, which they do, but it also, as far as sponsorship, works out great. Whose idea was that?
I don't know. That's something I'd like to find out.
I would too.
Somebody's going to get a raise.
There's no question.
It's been a massive hit, and the fans have enjoyed it. I mean, people were out in hot dog costumes having a good time. So, yeah, I think it's is it here to stay? I don't know if it's something you could do every single year, but, hey.
You don't think you could? Well, you can't roll those hot dog cars in?
More
then
of
do it.
them? Yeah, I mean, I want to see some accidents. I want to see a stunt man in one of those Wienermobiles, maybe put it in the turn 2 wall.
Yeah, so is it scripted a little bit? Do we know?
See, if I knew, JMV, I wouldn't tell you anyway.
I know you wouldn't tell me. I think it's great because it adds another kind of family layer. Like Carb Day, we know what Carb Day is, a party. But that adds a family layer to the party, which I think is cool as hell.
Yeah, I think you're right. I mean, it's a little something for everybody. You know, you obviously got the 2 hours of practice and then something for the fans. And obviously everyone's having a good time with the pit stop competition. And then you can go out and have a good time at the concert. So, yeah, man, Carb Day offers up a little something for everybody. I wish it offered up a little bit better weather so you'd have the throngs of fans down there. But, hey, we're going to get through it.
Listen, I live for this day, and it does stink. But sometimes, you just you're controlled by Mother Nature. In this case, it's funny. I was talking to a lot of the drivers, Felix and Will Power and Ryan Hunter-Ray, and I was talking about the weather and how much that plays a role in your mind for them on race day. And they said, well, it's something that you try to block out, but you can't. And I kind of feel that way on a much lower level. It's something that you think about and you have to talk about, yet you try to block it out to focus on things that you can control.
Yeah, I think that's the greatest point, and nowhere was that more evident than the last couple of years when Kyle Larson tried to do that double. And, I mean, all the stress that was put under him and that team of knowing, race day morning, look at the skies, it's threatening. So, yeah, it's a bummer. I mean, I'm glad we were able to get 2 hours of practice in. A lot of teams got a lot of stuff done, but we'll see. I mean, you know how it is. The folks here at the Speedway, they're still going to party whether it's pouring or not.
There's no doubt. I've always said that. No, I've got plenty of time. I've got tomorrow night, and I've got coming up on Sunday morning to do the party thing as well. So, and then ultimately the race as well. How many years have you been calling this?
This will be my 17th 500 with the radio network. So it's, time has flown past. But
and you're from Lafayette, Indiana.
Yep.
And you do radio in Lafayette, Indiana right now, too, the home of our good friend Matt Painter, who comes on the show often. And there is no greater dude in the world than Matt Painter.
I think he could run for mayor of West Lafayette.
He's a dude's dude, though. What I like about it is he's cool with hanging and putting down rules for major college basketball and, going to the national championship game and doing that. But he's also cool with just hanging out with dudes. He's a dude's dude.
I love how he has become a voice for college basketball, too. I mean, so respected across the country. And when he speaks up on whether it's some of this NIL stuff or some of the rules changes or expanding the tournament, that's a voice that people across the country respect. So, he's a guy that I think a lot of people in West Lafayette look up to, and they're happy to have him.
All right, and you're also working with NASCAR as well.
Yeah, with the Performance Racing Network. So my schedule has been loaded up. I'm bouncing back in between garage areas on the NASCAR side, paddocks on the IndyCar side, week in, week out. So a lot of traveling and I would have loved to have done both races, but hey, we're going to be back home again.
PRN does every one of them too? Or
no, it's split, MRN and PRN. So they've got two different radio networks that cover all the NASCAR races. So I do about 15 or 16 NASCAR races throughout the course of the year now.
All right. So when's your next one?
It'll be down in Nashville. So when the IndyCar Series goes up to Detroit, I'll be down with PRN down in the Music City for the Cracker Barrel 400.
And I know that we'll get to IndyCar in just a second. Nicky Yman of the IMS Radio Network joins us on the Eddie Moore Automotive Group hotline. We're not in Pagoda Plaza today, as you can tell. We're in the media center because of the rain that is presently on the inbound out here, too. But still, everything is going on as planned right now. The umbrellas are out, but it's going on as planned. The news yesterday that broke right during the end of my show, you kind of wondered what was going on regarding Kyle Busch and his condition. And then all of a sudden, the most tragic and devastating news you could ever hear happened yesterday around 5 o'clock. And that still is shocking to most people out there, not just NASCAR fans, but people in general.
No, I think across the sports world, but certainly in the motorsports industry. I talked this morning with Mario Andretti and Johnny Rutherford, Scott Dixon, Elio Castroneves, and everybody, just the outpouring of emotion and certainly respect for Kyle. But just one of the most bizarre and shocking things I've seen, JMV, because he was in a race car 7 days ago and won in the NASCAR Truck Series race. The week before, he had been battling some sort of sinus infection at Watkins Glen and had asked a doctor be on standby when he got out of the car because he was suffering through it. But then they go to Dover and seemingly everything's okay. So how quickly this happened, it's just tragic. His wife Samantha went to Purdue. His son Brexton is an up-and-coming driver. He's got a daughter as well. So it's just a terribly sad story, and a guy that really made an impact on that sport, a two-time winner of the Brickyard 400, and it's just unthinkable.
Nick, and in terms of the Indy 500 as well, this was always something he wanted to take as a challenge, and I mentioned this a little bit earlier when the folks at Channel 13 asked me about this. I said he's a driver's driver. You know, when they say he could race anything from lawnmowers to Indy cars, that's the type of dude that he was.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, there are some that are just so naturally gifted, and you can tell who those guys are. All you have to do is ask the other top-level drivers because they know. I mean, it's like being a comics comic. You respect guys like Kyle Busch, and it is one of the real great unknowns and missed opportunities that we never got him over here in an IndyCar. I don't know if he would have won. I think it would have been a factor, though, because he could drive anything. 234 wins across NASCAR's top three series. I mean, just one of the all-time greats. And it's, I think somebody asked me, like, how do you process this? I'm like, I don't think you can. I mean, it's an unheard of thing for a guy to suddenly be hospitalized at 41 and die just hours later. It's just unthinkable.
We look at it as on a personal level and not a racing level. You know, you look at it as, well, you know, he was a great driver and this is what he did and he's a future Hall of Famer. But the personal level, when you look at his family and his kids and his friends and all of that, that's when it really hits home.
Yeah, and I think that the tough thing is Kyle Busch's life was about to get super enjoyable because retirement was just around the corner, and he's got this hot shot son that he's was just about to really have some time to pour into him and nurture and guide his career, and certainly all the accolades in retirement were about to be poured on as one of the all-time greats, and for that not to happen, it's just such an unfinished story for Kyle Busch.
Nick Yman is with us. I mentioned the IMS Radio Network. I digress to things coming up after today and then coming up on Sunday. How'd things go for the drivers today, and what are your thoughts, at least initially your thoughts of Sunday's 110?
Well, first of all, happy we got 2 hours of practice in with no weather delays, and we didn't have any incidents because that was a scary one on Monday that obviously sent Alexander Rossi to the hospital and Pato O'Ward to a backup car. Romain Grosjean caught up in that thing. So it was a clean practice session, and, I keep an eye on who looks good and who's moving around in traffic. I thought David Malukas looked really racy, going to start on the outside of row number 1. 24-year-old kid from Chicago it's a Penske car, so it's going to be strong. But he looked really good in traffic. And talking to some of the guys and hearing our pit reporters interview guys like Kyle Kirkwood, who's starting deep in 25th, but appears very happy with his race cars. So I think we're set up for a pretty competitive race. Obviously, everyone's looking at Alex Palou. He is the betting favorite, heavy betting favorite for a reason. But I think there is plenty of reason to think that there are some drivers in the field that can knock him off.
There are guys like Connor Daly has had a fast car. Alexander Rossi before that situation on Monday, fast car. I talked to Felix Rosenqvist, fast car. But I would agree with you. I think all that it comes down to is how racy that Alex Palou is going to be because he just looks on a variety of fronts up here compared to others that just aren't. That doesn't make them any less than a driver, but that's just how dominant he and that group might be, and I would expect coming up on Sunday.
Well, and think about the mental aspect of it, too, where, okay, it's not like a road and street circuit where there isn't a lot of passing, where if Alex Palou starts up front, you're cooked. On an oval, you feel like, okay, if we work throughout the course of 500 miles, get that car better, we might have a shot. But then all of a sudden, this guy's starting up front, and the mental hurdle of knowing that at the drop of the green flag, all 32 drivers are going to be looking at the rear of that bright yellow DHL car. That can cause you to play some tricks in your head and think that you're not nearly as much in the game as you should be, as you would think in Indianapolis.
Nick Yman is with us. You got any expectations coming up? You want to name some drivers, name some names here?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I mentioned Kyle Kirkwood. I think coming from 25th, I think he's going to be racy. Joseph Newgarden looked really good in practice as well. That's not going to surprise anybody. I mean, just missed out on going back to back a year ago. He's going to have to pass a lot of cars. I'm still a little worried about a couple of the Andretti veterans. Will Power just has not had it for most of the week of practice, and Marcus Ericsson is struggled for speed as well. But, man, you know what I'm looking forward to the most is, and I love it every year for the Indy 500, the driver introductions, because I love paying attention to who gets the biggest pop from the crowd. And over the years, you come to expect Helio Castroneves gets a lot of noise, and Tony Kanaan did for so many years. But the Indiana boys of Ed Carpenter and Connor Daly are going to get the fans to their feet, and I think they both got good race cars, Connor in particular. I mean, can you imagine what this place is going to be like if Connor could win this race?
That would be it right there. I think that's where, because he's always been a fan favorite. What is this? Like, he's been here since 2013.
Yeah.
This is by far his best starting position, and I would say probably the best ride that he's had.
Yeah, I think that's fair. I'm a little worried. He had some under tray damage from that practice wreck. They said they got it fixed, and he looked fine in practice. But this is by far the best opportunity Connor has had. I mean, that Dreyer Reinbold team, I know they only do one race a year, but it's a proper effort. It's a good race car. That car almost won the race a year ago with Ryan Hunter-Reay. Granted, it was, with a little bit of fuel mileage. So Connor gets a little bit better every single year, a little bit closer to the front of the field, leads a lot of laps. I just want to see Connor there in the last 20 to 25 laps because it seems like over the last handful of years he'll fade to 6th or 7th, which is a respectable good run, but he wants to sip the milk and kiss the bricks.
Nick, I talked to Will Power on Wednesday, and he was very democratic, I thought, by Andretti Global not being able to find the speed and thinking that is something they can locate by race day. Would you agree?
That's the hope, but I'm not sure they have.
Although he's trying to talk himself into it a little bit here,
I think you kind of have to, but no one will like we both do. I mean, he's going to tell you if the car's good, and he's going to let you know if the car's not so good. So we'll see. I mean, you only got one practice session today to get an opportunity to find something, but I don't like leaving Will Power to the wayside as a guy that can't contend, but I'm not sure I have super high expectations for that 26 car.
Nick Yeoman in turn number 1. Did you say 17 years?
Dude, I can't believe it, man. It's crazy.
Well, now, how did you first get this gig?
So it was right place, right time. I had just graduated from Ball State, and I was looking for an internship.
What? You got that gig at a Ball State?
I know, and I feel guilty as hell about that, JMV.
I was emptying ashtrays coming out of Indiana State.
I mean, I've had guys that have been working in local radio that are like, I've been working in local radio for 30 years just looking for an opportunity.
Man, no wonder people are going to be pissed at you for that.
I know, but it was right place, right time, and I guess I didn't screw up the addition. They keep asking me back. I got a hard card. It's going to get pulled one of these days. But, yeah, man, 17 years. It's been a lot of fun.
PRN Radio, too, as well. The Performance Racing Network. Did you always want to do racing?
Yeah, that was the goal. I came from a racing family. My grandfather had owned and promoted some dirt tracks up in like Rensselaer, Indiana, up in northwest Indiana. So that was kind of the family business. Didn't get an opportunity to do any racing myself, but, man, that was always kind of the goal was, find an opportunity to get my foot in the door and have some fun with it.
Boilermaker basketball. How about Boilermaker football? First thing with Barry Odom coming up this fall. What are we looking at?
I mean, two wins, 3 wins.
Oh,
I mean, it's rough, man. I just don't.
Kurt Signetti, who's going to set the pace coming up here. You talk about setting the pace. He set the bar for a lot, including Barry Odom and Purdue, to do something and do something quick or go someplace else.
The Hoosiers have currently put Purdue football about 7 laps down, to borrow a racing term. It is a large gap. Purdue football was like a Lotus. Remember when Lotus was here at the Speedway and they were like 40 miles per hour off the pace? I'm going to get killed going back up to West Lafayette for this. You want to talk about basketball? Let's talk about
and that's okay, but that's the reality of it when IU struck gold in their football program with that, because you flip it. That's how IU was viewed for centuries, basically, or decades of football, and not anymore.
Well, you know what the crazy thing is the success that IU had. There are now probably 80 Power 5 programs that think, oh, we could do that then, right?
Yeah.
Like if Indiana can come back from being, statistically the worst Division I football program and win a national title, there's going to be the Minnesotas of the world and the Memphis is the world that think that they can do it too.
And then you have the Power 5s, the blue bloods of football that are all pissed about it. And they go, well, this has got to be cheating. Look what they're doing. And this is something that they had been known for decades, for eras. And now because this is within the rules, now they got to get officially with the program. You just can't just roll up and say, hey, we're Alabama. Hey, we're Georgia. Hey, we're USC. Hey, we're LSU. And win any longer. It's not that way.
You think when they were having spam at SEC Thanksgivings last November that there were some folks that were having some interesting conversations of, wait a second, where's the Crimson Tide at? Where are the Auburn Tigers at? Where's Georgia? Because the Indiana Hoosiers have arrived. Mark James is.
Are you done in Fort Wayne now? Are you done? You want to join me here? Oh, go ahead and sit down. Mark James is the voice of the greatest spectacle in racing. Hey, Nick, he jumped on Fort Wayne before me too. How about that?
I mean, are
you going to go on to Mishawaka before you sit down here, or what? You going to go on in Bicknell? Hey, Bicknell wants you on the show right now. You going to go on there before me?
You've already had me on more than Jake Query has.
I think his microphone may be off right now. Go ahead and make sure that is.
Well, there goes
there
the
you go.
Check,
baby. 1, 2, 3, right there. How you doing, pal?
Well, I've got to spend 5 hours with him on Sunday. I don't know why you're forcing me into this.
Oh, I guess we're staying dry, but I am bummed we're not where we usually are.
I know.
If it makes you feel any better, we can take our shirts off and start. we can chugging beers.
I already did. Everybody was saying, "Man, you're already peeling. It's not even June yet. What's happened?" I said, "As soon as the sun came out, I took my shirt off. That's why."
I want to see how much stroke you have. I want to see a beer pyramid here on the third floor.
Now, do you have regulars that line up at Pagoda Plaza?
Yes, and here's the problem. My boss, David Wood, said yesterday, he goes, "Hey, couple things here. You got to pace yourself because you're going to be there all day." And then he said, "You're not allowed to drink in the media center." That's like seriously. That was like rule number 2. And I go, "Well, wait a minute. I'm up here with all these nerds. What the hell else I'm going to be doing?"
I bet David doesn't get invited to a lot of parties, does he?
In motorsports, they say if you're not cheating, you're not trying.
Yeah,
so,
exactly.
you push the envelope, and if you get popped, you get popped. You apologize later.
Exactly. There's Kurt Cavan right there. There's
big hitter right there.
So we were talking about coming up on Sunday. Any thoughts that were created by today in the final practice?
I think, again, if you're in the lead on lap 198 or 199, I don't know that will be the place to be. I mean, I see it unfolding just like it has over the past few years with this aero package. And I know probably the luckiest guy in the place is going to be Jake Query because he may get a call at pass for the win on lap 199.
Wow.
Yeah,
that's good, too.
Yeah,
there's nothing wrong with being racy in that fashion.
No, for sure. And I think, maybe we thought at the beginning of the month 14, 15, but I think I've whittled that number down a little bit.
Have you really?
Maybe 9 or 10.
Was it by virtue of today or just what
the
you're
whole
saying?
month and qualifying and whatnot? I will say that I think qualifying, it's really tough to tell because I think that day weather-wise was unlike any day of practice that we had. And not to mention the fact you didn't get a mulligan. I mean, you had one shot at it, so you really had no chance to fix whatever you thought you were going to put on the car and make it right to go back out and make another attempt. It's tough enough to qualify here, but I can't imagine the pressure they felt last weekend having one shot at it.
I asked Nick this a little bit earlier. You have a belief that Andretti Global can find what they're looking for?
Based upon what I saw today, I think Kyle Kirkwood's going to continue to be Kyle Kirkwood. Yeah. I mean, he's got a good race car.
That has been surprising so far, though, without question.
Oh, there's no question, because normally they qualify awfully well here. They do. And again, I think it's just they were like a lot of teams that conditions caught them out. And, you throw something at a car and it doesn't always work. And like we said, unfortunately, they get a chance to undo that. And so that does make your strategic planning a little tougher to do throughout the course of 2
Pato Award. How are you thinking about Pato?
Well, I mentioned this to Nick. I said, you go back a couple of years ago and you look at how Elio Castroneves set up Alex Palou.
Yeah.
I think Alex Palou did the same thing last year to Pato Award, and I think if Award is in that similar situation, that result becomes a little different because of that knowledge. And I really think, that is a win that garners international attention. Right. And I know that every racetrack I go to throughout the course of the year, I see more and more of his gear and more people crowded around his paddock. I mean, he is easily, no disrespect to the rest of the drivers in this series, but he is P1 when it comes to popularity.
Fellas, I know I don't have to tell you this, but soak it up. These are the best of times.
Yeah.
When we're together like this right here.
Yeah,
it really truly is.
Yeah, we appreciate you, man. You're a good friend of ours. And
I
don't have that many of those. So I
don't either. Look at me. I know it.
And we genuinely do. Everybody talks about how well you guys work together and you're passionate and enthusiastic.
Yeah.
I mean, we generally don't like one another.
No, not much.
At all.
Well, I got a bunch of people down there in front of a stage going, wait a minute, we got all this alcohol down there. Where's the host of this show to drink it?
But we're done for the day, aren't we, Nick?
Well, I mean, I was just telling Jay, I mean, how many Indy 500s is this for you now, Mark?
31.
This is 31. I mean, where does calling the Weeny 500 that we just wrapped up about a half hour ago rank?
I mean, so few of us really get to check off our bucket list. And I mean, that's and I will say this, 3/4 into the first lap, we had it. All of our hot dog puns had gone away.
We were
having to recycle them on the last lap.
Yeah,
but it's just what it does. It just reminds me. I don't care what it is. People here, they just want to be here. And
I was telling Nick, it's a family element that you already have Carb Day and it's a party, but it's a family element that also helps as well. IMS coming up on Sunday. You guys join me and Tony Katz down there at some point too.
Yeah,
slide by, okay, guys?
Me too, yeah.
Nick Yman and Mark Janes, you guys, I appreciate you. You got to go on and where now? Like Ellettsville?
No, I'm 4:45 on 5:59. I'll have you know. And then tonight,
yes,
Monrovia Bulldogs turned the tassel, graduated to the
Love
Braxton
that.
Gym, the gym made famous by JMV on the basketball court last
I shot
year.
it well that morning, too, pal.
We're going to live stream
did.
it. YouTube. Watch us on the IHSAA Champions Network.
You
at
got
7
it.
o'clock. Yeah.
Nick, thanks, pal.
Appreciate it, brother.
you.
All right,
Congratulations
love you,
tomorrow. Right
Yep.
back at you. Mark James, Nicky Yman of the IMS Radio Network. All right, on the other side, this is going to be really cool. Gigi Garner, who is the daughter of James Garner. James Garner had such a profound love for IMS and the Indy 500 and racing in general. Gigi Garner is set to join us coming up next. The AAA Membership Lounge via YouTube Live. James is back in the studio. I apologize for being in the media center, but it is raining, and we were advised to do that by engineering, and they are great at what they do. I got to give a shout-out to Nick Lopez, who is helping me out right here, too. The Hensley Legal Group Command Center. It happens. Hire Hensley. Fever later on tonight. NBA finals, I should say conference finals, coming up later on tonight as well. Quick break, we'll come back with that. And Gigi Garner on the other side. The stream, the app, HD Radio, and AAA Membership Lounge via YouTube Live. 93.5, 107.5, The Fan. Hey, John here, and turning your order to a place that you love with Sundown Gardens in Westfield. You can save big at Sundown Gardens Memorial Day sale now through the 31st. You guys ready for it? Save 20% on the premium American-made Brio wood-burning fire pit engineered for a virtually smokeless experience, plus 20% off container trees and shrubs and 30% off pottery. You'll find everything you need to create your dream outdoor living space at Sundown Gardens, 186 in Spring Mill Road in Westfield. Now, down south, you can join me because I go there all the time at Miss M's Home and Garden in Bargersville. Save big on Miss M's Memorial Day sale now through the 31st. 20% on the premium American-made Brio wood-burning fire pit as well, plus 20% off container trees and shrubs, 20% off patio furniture, 30% off of pottery, and incredible outdoor living space for you at Miss M's on State Road 135, just south of Whiteland Road in Bargersville. Tell them JMV sent you. Hey, the best to make sure that you're cool and comfortable when the temperatures get warmer. Thank you, my man. I appreciate that. That is Love Heating and Air, Ohio dealer, 317-353-2141, love-hvac.com today. Get your system checked up right now. Make sure it's working efficiently. If it isn't, you need a repair, you give them a call. Bring guys like Ron over to fix things up. And, for example, if you need a repair, 317-353-2141. Mention my name, get $144 off the service fee at Love Heating and Air, Ohio dealer. 317-353-2141. Online, love-hvac.com today.
The Ride with JMV.
Attention, whoever you are, this channel is reserved for emergency calls only.
Lady, do I sound like I'm ordering a pizza?
93.5 and 107.5. The Fan.
IMS Media Center is our location today because of the rain, but that is okay. I'm JMV. Thank you for joining us. A busy show rest of the way. I'll explain. You hear the incredible theme music in the background. Chris Hagan of Fox 59. You can identify this, can't you?
This is Jim Rockford. They would change
I love the
answer machine every time.
That's great. It's Chris Hagan of Fox 59. I'm JMV, and joining us on the Andy Moore Automotive Group hotline, the daughter of the iconic actor and the lover of racing and the Indianapolis 500 at IMS, Gigi Garner. Let's introduce Gigi to the fans here in Indianapolis on the Andy Moore Automotive Group hotline. Gigi, thank you for the time. How are you?
I am great. Thank you so much for having me. What an honor to be on your show right now.
Oh, you're so sweet. We are honored to have you on the show because Chris Hagan is the sports director of Fox 59 here in town, and I obviously do this show, and we are both tremendous fans of your father's work in the Rockford Files. It just occurred to me when we played the theme song, do you know of any answer machine messages that were left on the cutting room floor that we never saw, that never was a part of the intro there?
You know, I don't know, but there is a reel, I think it's on YouTube, of all the answering machine messages.
Okay.
And they're pretty funny.
That's what we need. You know, what's amazing is somebody texted me the other day and said they were going to reboot the show, and
Correct.
I got excited in a way, and then I got kind of like, you know, there's some things you just don't mess with. That was such a great show, and there's ways you can watch it now. And so I think you'd be the best person to tell me, how should I feel about this?
Well, you know, I got a call one day from actor David Boreanaz, and I have actually known him for years. And he said, hey, do you know they're doing the reboot? And I said, yes. And he said, well, NBC just offered me the series. And I was stunned. However, I told David Boreanaz if anybody could do it, he could. And
okay,
so I have been on board from the very beginning. They've shot the pilot. The series has been picked up. And some things will be the same, and some things will be different. But this is my dad's legacy, and there can be more than one Jim Rockford.
Okay, I'll take your word for it. But there's certain things in life that you're like, oh,
she talked me into it last night.
That's what just happened to me. I'm going to give it a go, but there's some things that are so great, like John here, that you don't want to try to redo. I actually saw your dad out here at the Indy 500 one time. Did you ever make it out here with him?
I did. I was out there with him in 1985, and he was driving the pace car for the third time, and I think he thought it was too dangerous for me to be in the pace car. So a couple years ago, I got invited to come out, and I was invited to ride in the pace car, and by golly, I got right in there and started waving. It was the thrill of a lifetime.
It is Gigi Garner, who is the daughter of James Garner on the Andy Moore Automotive Group hotline. I'm JMV. That's Chris Hagan of Fox 59 IMS Media Center today. If you're looking for us in Pagoda Plaza, it is currently raining, so we're up here dry in the Media Center. How much love did your father have for the Indianapolis Motor Speedway in the Indianapolis 500?
He absolutely was the biggest fan in the world. I ran into the kind gentleman that is the historian there, and he told me that he counted 44 times my dad was at Indy.
Wow.
So he loved it.
That would be Donald Davidson.
He drove the pace car 3 times. Yes. Yeah. And he was a big fan. Of course, I grew up going to races just like everybody else every weekend. We saw Roger Penske, and we saw all the drivers, Carroll Shelby, and all the big drivers. Every weekend we would go to the races.
Here's my question for you: is I'm really good friends with Jarrett Payton, who's the son of Walter Payton, and some people when they have legendary parents, they don't like to always talk about it or what. But Jarrett embraces it, and if he sees somebody wearing a Walter Payton football jersey, he'll go introduce himself and say, "Hey, that's my dad." And it's great to hear the stories. I wonder how do you feel when people want to come talk to your dad or talk about your dad from the Rockford Files or Maverick or the Notebook? How much fun do you have? Is that a burden? How do you approach that when people just want to gush on and on about your dad?
I absolutely love it. I am his daughter. I am so proud of him, and I could talk about him till the end of time. Bring it on.
I think that he is so special because he was, as a celebrity and an actor, you got the James Garner, Gigi, that you saw as a father. He was the same person, and so oftentimes you get this, this change of pace from one or the other, but he was the same the entirety of the time. And when you can find that is incredibly special, just like what you had in your father.
I was very lucky. And, my dad wasn't just an actor. My dad was a real driver. My dad came in second in the Baja 1000.
Yeah, Gigi Garner joins us on the Andy Moore Automotive Group hotline. Now, how good of a driver was he? Like overall, like a race driver, how good was he from what you saw growing up?
Well, he did a lot of his own stunts in Grand Prix, the film, in 1966. And he did a lot of his own car stunts in the Rockford Files. But Bob Bondurant said that if he ever wanted to go professional, he could beat a lot of those guys out there.
So Gigi Garner joins us. That is the daughter of the legendary James Garner, the 110th running of the Indianapolis 500 coming up on Sunday. We start at 6 a.m., me and Tony Katz, 93 WIBC, 93.5 and 107.5 The Fan as well. What type of relationship, because we also know, because they had a race team here as well, Newman Haas Racing, that was Paul Newman, spent every single May out here when he was around as well. Were they close on any level?
They were. Oh, they were. They were really good.
What memories do you have of Paul? What memories do you have of Paul Newman and your father together?
Well, actually, they did a movie together called Twilight. But, they were just good friends, and they would go to the races together, and they loved it, absolutely loved it. And, of course, our next-door neighbor was Steve McQueen, so we had that component. And they would race down our street in their Mini Coopers, and that was a lot of fun. So I mean, even though they were actors, they were also friends, and they were also racers.
So it's interesting you bring up Steve McQueen because he was born in Beech Grove, which is a part, obviously, of Indianapolis. Now, when you said that your father and Steve McQueen raced down the street, was this were they serious? They were serious about it. How serious were they when they would do this?
They were pretty serious. We lived on a street that had speed bumps and just two sides. And one would go down one side, one would go down the other side, which, of course, not the right way. But they would race. They both brought home Mini Coopers from when they shot The Great Escape. And so they both brought home Mini Coopers. And Steve had a brown one, my dad had a blue one, and they would actually race on our street.
Gigi, obviously you're proud of your father, but with your vast career and you've did so many cool things, how supportive and how proud of you was he?
Oh, who knows? Let's face it, nothing I ever do is going to be as great as the things my dad have done. But I'm so proud of everything my dad did, and I'm so proud to carry on his legacy and make sure that people never forget him. That's my job.
Well, I tell you what, we're going to save your number, and after I see the first episode of this reboot, I'm going to call with any concerns I may have and see what you think. Because
all right.
I mean, we're this is rarefied air we're getting back into. So I want to. They got some mighty big shoes to fill.
He does, but just because you like the new Jim Rockford doesn't mean you're being disloyal to my dad. You will always have the original, but these guys are actors, and there's many of James Bond, Sherlock Holmes, Wyatt Earp. So let's give David a chance.
All right.
I
just remember when they brought out new Coke, though. They tried to bring out new Coca-Cola, and we know how that went, Gigi.
Different taste.
He's right about that. And Gigi Garner joins us, the daughter of James Garner. What kind of cookies were in the cookie jar in the trailer on the Rockford Files? Were they Oreos?
Of course, they were Oreos. Yeah.
Were they always Oreos? Was that his favorite?
Yeah, they were.
Okay.
Yeah. He had a particular way to eat them too. It was very involved. But there was Oreos and a gun in the cookie jar.
Yeah. There was a 38 in Oreos in the cookie jar, I believe.
Yep.
Hey,
Yep.
Gigi, you're talking to a Rockford Files historian as well right here, because it was on the Get, which is the Great Entertainment Television Network, and endlessly on a loop every single night. I watched it every single night. And plus, I mean, growing up from 74 through 79, I was 4 to 9 years of age, and it was just something that you did. It was something you looked forward to weekly.
The thing is, I watched the reruns, and my mom, we would watch Cannon and Barnaby Jones, and somehow they were supposed to be these, superheroes. But your dad, he looked the part, and he was the part. He was – and when I saw him out here, I mean, he was a star, a movie star, TV. He had the aura, and, I guess that's just something you're born with, because you can't fake that in person or on screen.
He was just born like that. He never even really took any acting lessons. He watched. He was in a play, a touring company of a play called Caine Mutiny Court Martial, and Henry Fonda played the lead. And my dad didn't have any lines, so he would just watch Henry Fonda every night, and that's how he learned how to act.
It's incredible. I cannot believe I'm talking to the daughter of an actor in The Great Escape on the Rockford Files.
Aww.
Can you please stay in touch with us too? And I know our good friend Jeff Lawrence is the one that put us in contact.
Yeah.
I can't thank him enough, because it's an absolute pleasure to get to know you. And let's stay in touch, okay, Gigi?
Yeah, anytime. Listen, I am so envious and jealous that you guys are there this weekend. Oh my gosh, if only. But maybe I can make it some other year. But I love racing to my core. I grew up doing, going every weekend. And I just absolutely love it. It's so exciting. Anyway, thank you so much for having me on. I really appreciate it.
Well, we're going to stay in touch. And maybe one of these days, if you get out here, we're all going to get loose together. Because Carb Day, normally without this rain, we're getting a little bit loose.
Get you back on stage and sing a little bit
for us. We'll do that, okay, Gigi, if you don't mind.
All right. Thank you guys so much.
Oh, it's such a pleasure. Gigi Garner right there, the daughter of the legend, James Garner, Jim Rockford, Great Escape, Grand Prix. We didn't even bring up Grand Prix.
Yeah, just one of the coolest guys you'll ever.
He is.
I mean, handsome, but not the kind of guy you're.
Hey, Chelsea, he's describing me too, by the way.
I was going to say,
the guy you're not jealous of him. You're just like, man, I wish I was him.
Me too.
The cars,
I'm right there with
lifestyle.
You.
Speaking of legends.
Yes. We got to take a break. Can you hang for a minute?
I'm here.
We'll take a break. James on the other side. Chelsea's going to join us. We'll explain all this coming up, too. My man Thomas is here. He's going to join us. Pat Sullivan still to come, and a lot more. Media Center, Carb Day. It is raining. We are inside. I'll further explain coming up. But tomorrow night is going to be big with the JMV takeover. We're right next door off of Georgetown in Lot 6A. With our Bronze Fun Time camper, the All Request Saturday night on B105.7 with me coming up tomorrow night. Explanation forthcoming. 93.5, 107.5 The Fan. Hey, it's John for BullseyeEventGroup.com and the Colts VIP Tailgate presented by Hayes & Sons Restoration. Log on and make sure you're a part of that, too. All the tickets, cherry-pick the games that you like and make sure you combo that up with the all-you-can-eat, all-you-can-drink experience and the best pregame around with BullseyeEventGroup.com. My man Kyle Kinnett has done it again, revolutionized the pregame party where you can combo that up with tickets to the game. So check out the Colts schedule. Make sure you're a part of the games that you want and combo that up with an incredible tailgate experience with BullseyeEventGroup.com. And the Colts VIP Tailgate presented by Hayes & Sons Restoration. Log on right now and get those tickets, get those passes, BullseyeEventGroup.com. LD Smith Plumbing, the best in plumbing at 317-927-7186. That's LD Smith Plumbing and Drains. Call my friend Lance at his local team, especially now you see the rain. You want to make sure your sump pump and your battery backup is working the way that it should. Great deals on that and any plumbing issues you have, that's LD Smith Plumbing and Drains at 317-927-7186. Tell them JMV sent you online, ldsmithplumbing.com.
The Ride with JMV.
Well, we're waiting.
93.5 and 107.5. The Fan.
I know the media center sucks. I can't do anything about it. Blame the weather. Indy 11 tickets for tomorrow night. James, give me number 30 on the text line. I want to see that active at 317-239-1070 for those Indy 11 tickets tomorrow night.
You know, James, on the bump back, you should play.
He likes the Pet Shop Boy.
You
This
should
is
play
big right here.
Blame It on the Rain.
Yeah, yeah.
Milli Vanilli, or the people who sang for Milli Vanilli.
How about Orange Juice Jones, The Rain?
I saw you and him walking in the end of that song when he goes into the rap and
Why
tells
don't
her.
you let Chelsea talk here?
Tells her,
What are you doing?
Because
Have
I
you
got
met
excited.
him?
I got excited about this.
No one
song.
can get a word in edgewise.
Oh,
when Chris
man,
Hagan
that's
is here.
the ultimate slam for you, man.
She didn't say it wasn't entertaining. She just said nobody could get a word in edgewise.
When you got to anchor in 5 minutes, don't you?
I got to anchor the 5 p.m. show on CBS 4, so I'll be field anchoring. What am I going to be talking about? We will all find out together live on 5 p.m.
Yeah, you look a little stressed over there about what your
Here's the
producer's doing. Oh, here we go, Hagen. This is going to be
Whenever
good.
somebody says, here's the thing, you know it's
Okay.
about to come.
This has just been a stressful day from the get-go. It took me an hour and a half to get into IMS because the media lot was so backed up on all these side streets. So that's where it started this morning. So then I anchor Fox 59 Midday News. I was supposed to be there at the top of the show. Didn't make it until 11:30, so that already pushes things off. Then we had to go live for the noon on CBS 4, which I say have to. It's fun. You know, being here at Carb Day, it's a blast, so I love it. It's just, it's frustrating when you want to bring the people the exciting coverage, JMV.
Yeah, we got to bring it to them.
I got to bring it to them.
You could just stay in the RV, the Bronze Fun Time camper we got out there tomorrow night. Don't worry about that.
Well, I was telling
We'll
him,
walk right over here.
I've got to be here live because I'm anchoring the Fox 59 morning show. So I'm on from 7 to 10. Our show is 5 a.m. to 10 a.m.
I'm 6 a.m. until 11.
So you're going to be in the
I'm
morning?
going to be right over. No, on race day morning, I'll be right over there.
So
6.
you're staying up until midnight and
yeah,
then being
and
ready.
I'll probably be hammered too. So that's the other thing.
See, you get to drink with your job. I don't.
Why not? You know how much
That's
more
not what you did
exciting-
yesterday.
You know how much better you guys would be if you were allowed to drink on the job?
I mean, ask CNN. We see it every year.
Yeah.
With with their New
Seriously.
Year's Eve
Yeah,
celebration.
you guys need to loosen up a little bit. You guys are too tight-assed.
Well, they told them, oh, stop drinking, and then everyone revolted, and they were like, let Andy and who was it? Andy, you know who I'm talking about, right?
I have no idea.
Okay, we'll
Hagen's
just
shaking
move
his
on.
head like he does.
Anderson Cooper.
Thank you, Anderson
Not
Cooper.
Andy
Cohen.
Oh, I thought you were
That's
thinking
who I
about
was
Andy
thinking
Richter.
of. I was like,
Oh,
who's
those
the other?
guys too. Oh,
Do you
yeah.
know what I mean, though? It was
Yeah,
like
but their
one year
shows
they
built-
got a little too
yeah.
drunky
Those
on
shows are
TV.
built around drinking. You don't normally do anchor work and say,
Right.
here's what's going on tonight.
Bob Donaldson does, though. every
No,
day.
he does
Oh,
not.
oh,
my
I
goodness.
wasn't supposed to say that.
Bob is going to light you up if he hears you
Ryan
say that.
Wilkes, every
Ryan
day.
Wilkes is completely in the bag
I'll
when he
tell
does
you.
jacket off weather.
Come on, what? We were born in the wrong era because how fun would it be to be able to have a scotch and a cigarette while reporting the news?
In every TV show when we were kids, John, you'd
Yeah.
go into some guy's office and he would say, "Could I get you a drink?" That never happened in my adult life. You go into
Yeah.
like the swanky office and the guy has the decanter there. What do you call those things? Is it a decanter, the little thing you have?
Yes.
Jar.
Chelsea hasn't been here 5 minutes. She's looking at her watch. She's had
No,
enough
I got
of the
a
show.
notification. You know what I was thinking about when I worked in Arkansas? I'll make this long story short, okay?
Great.
Good luck.
Unfortunately, one of my coworkers did pass away. He was a much older gentleman. He had a heart attack. But there is a funny part of this story, not that he died.
Sounds great so far.
Waiting for
Rest in peace, Dave. When we were clearing out his desk, we found a Coke bottle full of bourbon in his desk.
Oh, well, sure.
And
Yeah.
we're like, oh, so this is why.
Because he's got to deal with you trying to tell his story when everything's over.
In the
Yeah.
in the Kyle Larson documentary, which I recommended yesterday, Kyle Larson versus the Double. He, his mother's Japanese, his dad is American, and he talked about his Japanese father. And the first thing I noticed when they show video, his Japanese grandfather has a Budweiser can.
Yeah.
And they show another. And he said he didn't know really much about his grandparents, but he said my grandfather would always come out. He smoked 2 packs of cigarettes a day and drank a case of Budweiser, and he lived into his 90s.
Yeah.
So sometimes
don't know.
it's DNA.
You got to soak it up
it's
while
like-
you're in it, pal.
So
You
you
do.
don't. It's all about quality of life, and that's why John is drinking some urine-colored beverage
I
right now.
am. Are you guys going to hang for a minute?
I can hang.
I
can
got
be here
I
for
got to
one
get
more
Thomas.
break.
I'm going to get Thomas on just a little bit.
Okay.
Thomas is in the bullpen over there because Thomas has got some shirts that are awesome coming up. Pat Sullivan also coming up on the inbound too. Media Center, IMS, Carb Day. It is raining. Concert still going on as far as I know with the Counting Crows and Switchfoot in just a little bit. We'll come back. Second floor of the third floor. I don't. What floor are we on?
I think we're on the third.
The third floor of the Media Center. Don't go anywhere. 93.5, 107.5 The Fan. Hey, John here for WeGrowHairIndy.com. You want your real growing hair again? Phone call away, 317-522-2995. That's Darren Andrews. That's going to set you up with it all. Multi-unit hair grafting, artist robotic FUE, laser hair therapy, boosters to make sure you maintain your real growing hair at 317-522-2995. That's WeGrowHairIndy.com today. Hey, it's John here for the District Tap. You got two locations, Northside Clearwater Crossing. And listen, post this up downtown tonight. I know you got a game over at the Field House. You can pregame and then postgame at the District Tap. They've got live music, damn good food, happy hour specials, all that you need with TVs everywhere. You will not miss a second of what you love at the District Tap. That's the downtown location. Ask for my friend Sammy on the north side of Clearwater Crossing. She is awesome. And so's the food. So's the happy hour specials, the live entertainment, and if you need somebody to cater an event, they've got the food for you as well. That is the District Tap. The two locations, that and more you can find easily online right now, thedistricttap.com.
The Ride with JMV.
We're not going to fall for a banana in the tailpipe.
You're not going to fall for the banana in the tailpipe?
It should be more natural, brother. It should flow out like this. Look, man, I ain't falling for no banana in my tailpipe.
93.5 and 107.5, The Fan.
Well, the sun sets at 8:35, so if we have to, we can go pretty late. So we'll do everything we can. We even talked yesterday with some scenarios. If you get to a point where even if you get over halfway, and say it rains at 2:30, theoretically halfway is official. But in my mind, we're going to go as long as we can go to get a 500 miles in.
Yeah, that's Doug Bowles, Speedway Prez, a little bit earlier. I think it was on the Fan Morning Show. It's not raining coming up on Sunday. Let's stop jacking with that scenario. It was going to rain today. It's ruining our Carb day, where we normally are. But we're going to be good tomorrow night with the JMV takeover in Lot 6A with our Bronze Fun Time camper. All good tomorrow night on B105.7, and all good coming up on Sunday. Although Doug explained the plans. He may join us live coming up in just a minute. Chris Hagan of Fox 59 is with us right now.
Present.
Chelsea Helms is in the house of CBS 4. She's got work to do. She's mad at producers.
I'm not mad at producers.
Hey, who are these people walking around with the 86 on their shirts?
I don't know, but is it because of Bobby Rahal won the 500 in 1986?
No, I think it's because it's like two different stations.
Are you talking about the hot dogs?
Do you see the hot dog people? Yesterday,
I was going to make fun of Wish TV Channel 8 and RTV6, but you guys didn't allow me to. You didn't run with it.
Oh, no,
it's 86.
They got 86.
Yeah.
I mean, this is nothing about them, so I want to make it very clear.
Are the toilets flush in there now?
Well, I want to make it very clear. I'm not dishing on any other local station, but I worked in restaurants.
Dissing.
What did I say? Dishing. Dishing. What I was trying to go
86
say,
means we're out of it.
We're out of it.
86 crab claws, 86.
But see what I mean? I can't even finish my sentence.
Well, I may call you Kelsey coming up in a minute if we go any deeper here. So, yeah.
You know, we were going to, for a minute, we thought we were going to have our own show together. But now I realize that Chelsea would ruin it every day by not letting me talk.
Not letting you talk. Okay.
So yesterday, we had Indy 500 drivers stop at that table. Pato Award.
Yeah.
Connor would stop and
talk to me.
You did a great
job.
Thank you. I was just waiting for you to say it. The three drivers of the Wienermobiles walk by, and I go, hey, ESPN
Can we
Radio,
talk to you?
Can we get you on? The guy goes, I'm going to have to. No, do you have a business card? I was like, are you kidding me? So then I said it was the lowest point in my broadcasting career. I got big leagued by a Wienermobile driver.
Not just a Wienermobile driver, a wiener.
A wiener. I think it was Slaw Dog. Slaw Dog was the one who cut me down to size.
When's the last time anybody had a hot dog at this table right here?
I literally had one 2 hours ago.
Did you really?
Because they were served for lunch in the media center. I was like, you have to have a hot dog when you're covering the Wiener 500.
I ate hot dogs at least twice a week.
That's why you're
Do you
so
really?
Yum.
So what?
I haven't had one in years.
Careful.
That's why your complexion is the way it is. You know when someone eats too many carrots and they turn orange? You are kind of like a hot dog shade.
That's the best line that's ever been uttered on this show.
Chelsea off the third floor.
See, you're talking about dishing. That's dishing right there.
Why are you dishing me? Hey, Chelsea, this is what John and I have been here a million years.
You resemble a wiener now because you eat so many.
Well, hey, from the time you got here, what have you been here, like 2 years now?
Yeah, exactly.
How much have you learned and grown to love and appreciate what this is all about this weekend?
Oh, my gosh. If you would have asked me what I think about IndyCar before I moved to Central Indiana, I would have said, I grew up in a house with my dad who was a big NASCAR fan, so I was more familiar with NASCAR. I didn't even know what kind of vehicles were driven in IndyCar. I know that sounds crazy, but it's like I didn't know, and IndyCar was what it was, right? Now, 2 years later, I've interviewed several Indy 500 winners, some multiple winners. I feel like I've kind of drank the Kool-Aid and jumped in feet first. I love it.
Oh, well, we're glad to have you here. We are. Now, that's Chris, and it's Chelsea. I'm John, Media Center. Let's bring on Pat Sullivan of Sullivan Hardware and Garden.
Sully.
Hashtag Ask Pat. Hello, Pat. I'm sorry you could not join us live today.
You know what? I didn't realize I was on, John, quite honestly.
I know you got caught up in the dialogue here, didn't you? Chelsea Helms she's dishing it out here to her colleague. We love it.
I was enjoying the conversation. So, yeah, it's great.
Hey, Pat, real quick, Pat, before we get into it, I'm going to try to get a couple of free haircuts by giving props to your niece, Courtney Norris, who cuts my hair. Salon 14. Salon 14. Yeah, go ask for Courtney.
She does a great job. I mean, she doesn't bother with me since I don't have any hair, but, Chris, you look great. You look TV you look TV worthy.
You do, man.
You know what? Here's how awesome she is. The other day I was emceeing the Bobby Rahal movie premiere, and I didn't know what a big deal it was. And so I was trying to, like, trim the side of my hair with my clippers, and it was a disaster. And so I texted her. I was like, can you get me in for an emergency procedure? And she got me in. She's so busy, she got me in. And then as I left, she said, don't ever do that again. So it was fun stuff.
You didn't know how big of a deal that was going to be. I was surrounded by so many Indy 500 legends. I felt so intimidated being at that premiere.
I got intimidated because the former governor and vice president was in the house, and I was trying to do my usual Hagen shtick, and I looked over, and he looked at me like, just get to the movie, pal. Okay, we got it.
Mike Pence was there?
He was there.
Was he really?
Yes.
Is he cooler than he used to be?
Chelsea talked to him.
I did interview him.
You really?
I can't speak to his coolness because I've
Well,
only
there's
ever
no
met
way,
him this
but
one
yeah.
time, but he was gracious enough to give me an interview right when he walked in, and I know that's not easy to have a camera just thrown in your face like that. But he was willing to talk about January 6th. He was willing to talk some political things at this Bobby Rahal documentary, so thank you to the former vice president for doing that.
Well, Pat Sullivan, Pat, you're a former colleague, right, of Mike Pence.
Yeah, that's right. We worked together on Saturday morning, and I thought you would have asked some racing questions, but you went right to January 6th.
Well, okay, to be honest.
She's like Barbara Walters.
I was like, how do we finesse this, right? So we started, what does Bobby Rahal mean to you? Then I was like, oh, by the way, I hear you got this new book out. Tell me about it. And then it was the Axios reporter who was like, what do you think about January 6th and this new fund? And I was like, okay. All right, thanks for greasing the wheel for me.
So on stage, I almost said this. I almost said this on stage. Mr. Pence, if you thought January 6th was bad, wait till you see my routine here on stage. But I did not. It was close, but I didn't do it.
I'm sure he gets – he's married to a Chittard Trojan, so
yeah,
that gets points in my book.
He did tell me about how his wife used to live in Broad Ripple, mother as he calls her sometimes, and he had mentioned how she
Chelsea, just take the headset
used
off.
to live in
Just
Broad
go.
Ripple and used
Just
to
go.
sell papers to be able to pay for her first ticket to the Indy 500. I loved that story. That was a really cool story.
Yeah, so about
Joining us
January
now,
6th.
Pat Sullivan on the whatever the sponsored hotline is now.
Oh, man, Pat, you got to save us from ourselves right here, too.
Yeah.
What would we be talking about if you were live, local, and late breaking as you normally are with us?
We would be talking probably about someone's we would be talking about the rain, and we are at a full stop here at Sullivan Hardware and Garden, that's for sure, as we have been. And I have Brian Wilkes in my basement right now, tied up.
Brian Wilkes.
About it. Yep.
Pat, what's the problem here? And I know Brian will address this sometimes about you want to plant, you want to do this, you want to do that, and then it's hot, it's cold, it's chilly, it's like I'm too much of an idiot to know how to do any of that stuff. But what kind of upheaval are people that do things like that facing this time of year?
Well, you know what? It's the ground temperature is fine. It is warm. We're past frost-free date and really far past it, so I would think that we would not have any more frost. So, but right now is the amount of rain. Plants, like to be watered, but they don't like to be soaked. So when you get small plants that are seedlings, a lot of times this is just too much rain. So then you have to go back to the store and buy it the second time, and man, we all hate that in this business.
So these guys were talking about hot dogs a little bit earlier. Where does hot dogs rank? Because I saw our mutual friend Mark a little bit earlier from the Big Green Egg. Where do hot dogs rank as far as barbecues are concerned? Is it still as popular as it once would have been, Pat?
And I want to throw in, I had 2 hot dogs last night. I love a good hot dog.
Thank you.
Love a good hot dog.
I wonder if you're the same shade as Chris Hagan right now.
You get a hot dog on the grill, Pat, you know this. I mean, there's nothing better.
Oh, it's the best. Absolutely
I like
the best.
them burnt.
You know, they have some high-end hot dogs, which is what I get, that are –
You get the Angus.
I get the Angus, ballpark
It just says
Prince.
it. There's no Angus in there.
It's 100%.
It may be something.
It's 100%.
Take the G out, it may be that.
They're a little expensive. But there's a place in Birmingham, Alabama called Sneaky Pete's Hot Dog. And at the airport, you can actually buy the sneaky sauce. You guys know I'm not a condiment guy, but you put that sneaky sauce on a hot dog, yeah, I mean, thank me later.
He is not a condiment guy, and he's kind of weird. If you go out with him, you cannot share a condiment with him. Like, if you want to dip your chicken in the same thing as him, you're not allowed to.
No, we're not doing it.
Really?
Wow.
Speaking of hot dogs, by the way, my co-anchor is 65 years old, and the other day I tried to play a prank on Bob.
You're welcome, Bob.
I tried to play a prank on Bob, so I had AI create this image of his desk. So he thought he was walking into crates of hot dogs on his
What are you doing?
You got to have fun, you know?
Chelsea.
And then I had AI create this hot dog picture.
Pat, we're wild. Oh, yeah. You're showing that on the AAA Membership Lounge via YouTube Live right now.
I'll be right back.
Oh, are you leaving, are you?
I'm not going to Irish exit. I'll be right back.
All right, there you go. Chris Hagan is leaving right there. Chelsea Helms is on the show with us. That's Pat Sullivan from Sullivan Hardware and Garden. Hashtag Ask Pat, as we normally do on the Andy Moore Automotive Group hotline. I will tell you this, Pat, you are missing this thing live. It is pretty funny. And we're trying to go off the rails a little bit because we're missing out on what normally Carb Day represents out on stage in Pagoda Plaza. But we're doing as good a job, I think, of remaining off the rails as possible right now.
Well, John, the important thing that I bring to the race along with my co-host is we are deep in study of the 500 Festival Parade floats. And we will bring that to you live on WIBC 93.1. From the very start to the end, you'll hear the entire race. That's right. I know you might be thinking, why would anybody listen to that? But it's like, I think it can be kind of fun, listening to it. It makes people feel a part of what's going on in Indianapolis when they're driving around and they can hear the parade being broadcast live.
Hey, Pat, man, traditions around here, and that is one. Traditions run deep. And people love the traditions, and they love you guys carrying that parade on 93 WIBC.
Yes, it's been, I think, over 20 years we've done it now. So
It's probably one of the most incredible parades I've ever seen. I'm not a big parade person, and I make it a point to be at this parade every year. It's just so fun, and it's interactive, especially with all the drivers, seeing them come in order of where they're going to be on the grid of 33 on Sunday. I just think it's got to be an asset for those who aren't going to be able to be there and see in person, to be able to hear you all describe the floats to them as they're coming down.
And there's also, and I know you don't know our co-host, Denny Smith, to see what he will do. As about 5 years ago, he hopped off of our stage and ran after IU cheerleader for a kiss.
Oh my gosh!
Does he run up on
$10 bet? Yeah.
Does he run up on a float like he's Matthew Broderick in Ferris Bueller's Day Off and start singing some Beatles tune and Donkey Shane or something? No,
not as graceful. Not as graceful at all. And I'm quite concerned for Caitlin Clark tomorrow and Denny Smith.
She is the Grand Marshal.
Yeah,
she is.
It is cool, and I know this kind of dampers a little bit with the rain out here right now, but it is. It's still really cool. You got any call for the race coming up on Sunday, Pat?
Have any what?
Any call? Who's going to win the race on Sunday?
Oh, no. You know what? Because he's a friend of mine, Meyer Shank, the Meyer Shank team. Jim Meyer is a friend of mine. I would love him to be successful once again.
That's a good call. And then remind people about Sullivan Hardware and Garden, the locations, and you guys being because I think people tend to forget that this is still a big weekend and a big weekend for families getting together, barbecuing and such, even if we're talking about Sunday or talking about Monday.
Well, it's such a long, holiday. It really starts today, maybe even Thursday. So people are still, they're trying to get their yards together. They have company coming over. They want flowers. They want the deal, and then of course a lot of propane, a lot of pellets, a lot of charcoal for big green eggs. So it goes all the way through Monday, and hopefully we'll have a little better weather on Monday.
You got it. Pat Sullivan of Sullivan Hardware and Garden. He is on the Andy Moore Automotive Group hotline. Hey, Pat, I appreciate that as always. We'll get back on schedule coming up next Friday, too, to make sure we get some people on board and answer some questions because now, after this weekend, we're really going to get into what hopefully it feels like summertime with you.
Absolutely. Hey, I got to go. Wilkes is screaming something from the basement.
All right, go let him out for a minute for a breath of air, okay?
See you guys.
Poor
It's
Brian.
Pat Sullivan Hardware and Garden with us. Chelsea Helms has got CBS 4 responsibilities coming up at the top of the hour. Obviously, you start with the top stories, right?
I'll be starting with the top stories. Yeah, I was just getting a text from my producer. He's running out to the car to grab, or my photojournalist today. He's running to grab some lighting because we're going to be on the media center, floor above where we are right now because of the rain you're talking about. Otherwise, we'd be roaming around, the Midway gasoline alley. But we'll start with our top stories, which is Carb Day.
Yeah.
I mean, this is the biggest story in
Does
the
this
market,
put a damper
right?
on what you guys are trying to do, too?
I mean, I'm a little frustrated because I like to be mobile. That's, to me, the biggest frustration. I don't want to be stuck in the media center on the 4th floor overlooking a boring track because nothing's going to be going on by the time our show starts at 5 p.m. I would personally rather be out in the gasoline alley where the teams are putting some finishing touches on the cars or, just walking the Midway with people. But yeah, obviously the rain is a big frustration for even you. I mean, here we are in the media center with your show.
Yeah, and I was told I'm not allowed to drink up here too, which is really weird.
They wouldn't let you bring in a beer?
I mean, I could probably hide something. I don't want to do that. I don't want to skirt the rules. I abide.
Did you watch the Weeny 500?
I did not. I just saw it going on, but we were out there, so. But I think it's cool. I think it adds to something. This is like a party thing normally, right? So I think you add that family aspect to it as well. So it's almost like you're bringing together the best of both worlds for Carb Day.
I also feel like it invites people who maybe aren't IndyCar fans, right?
Yeah,
it
sure.
brings an entirely new audience who
Kids out
maybe
here.
then get excited about the IndyCar. Because if you think about it, I mean, you stay just half an hour past the race. You've got the pit stop challenges.
Yeah.
That's always a lot of fun to watch. So maybe we got some new fans of IndyCar out of today.
All right, well, tell me all about your responsibilities because you've got a lot of stuff going on this weekend, especially on Sunday. What are they?
Okay, so my responsibilities, after today, after our 6 p.m. show, I'll be off until Sunday morning. I'm going to get up at like 3 or 4. I've got to be to the track for like 5:30, 6 a.m., and then I'll be anchoring Fox 59's coverage from 7 to 10 with my Fox 59 midday co-anchor, Daniel Miller.
And then, obviously, you get to soak everything up.
And then I'll be finding out where you guys are hanging out and be joining you
will
there.
be right over there in Pagoda Plaza per usual. What, do you guys do it from out here?
So I'll be on the 4th floor of the media center overlooking the track.
more.
That'll be more exciting because obviously the stands will be filling up by that point. So that I don't mind being from the media center when we've got the full set built out, which, by the way, is in the process right now. Our engineers have been up there for the last couple of days building out our full set.
Did you you mentioned you didn't have a great deal of knowledge about this race, but how overwhelming has it been since you've been here and now you know how it is for people, how much they love it, how many, generationally speaking, how many people love this?
I don't think in my entire 3+ decades on this earth I have ever been a part of something where tradition is so important, right? So learning about that, back home again in Indiana, learning how much that song means to so many people when it is sung here at the Speedway. From that to being able to bring in your own cooler on Carb Day or on race day to being able to watch the checkered flag drop. It's like all of these traditions, it's hard not to get excited about, but I never experienced anything quite like it. And now, I am as much of a fan now to where, I have an IndyCar fantasy league. I'm on 2 separate fantasy leagues. And I like it enough to where I want to start maybe traveling to some of the races that are close by.
Even better right there.
It's so fun. I mean, how do you not get excited when you see someone like Pato O'Ward walking up to his fans, shaking their hands? You see Elio Castroneves walking through gasoline alleys, signing autographs. I mean, what other sport or just even thing in life where a celebrity is attached to it do you have such access to those people?
1 in every 1,000 in America will be here. Is that what
I think that's the stat,
coming up on Sunday, which is amazing. And Chelsea, as I would say, because I grew up around here, it is so generational as just a family gathering.
How long have you been coming?
I go all the way back to the late 70s when I'm in single digits, and Hagen and I, he's a year older than me, but we kind of are cut from the same cloth. So, and I went with my friends when I was in my teens all the way through high school and into college. So my grandparents lived over in Speedway for a number of years. We parked cars for money on race days and such. And
what is it like for you to see people come here for the first time and
great.
Learn about these traditions and become fans themselves?
Chelsea, it's great. great because I mention this all the time. I'm here for the fun and the enjoyment, and that's what you get here. And it may evolve from what it once was to what it is now, but there are so many aspects of it that would be the same, and that is just the friendship and the hang and just the overall fun of this event. Even if you're not a hardcore race fan, you can barely be a fringe race fan, but you just still, and you get that jolt from the start of the race. There's nothing like the start of the race, and obviously you saw the helicopter circling, so they're going to do that again. There are just so many thrilling, memorable aspects that you take away from this, and really it makes it even more special year after year.
Look, I know that you have all your regulars who are probably listening right now. But chances are there are people who are just in town for the weekend who flipped over and are hearing us right now.
Sure.
What are your tips for them for when they come out to IMS?
Well, here, join me coming up tomorrow night on the JMV Takeover in Lot 6A. You're going to be sleeping, you said, because you got to get up early. But 6A, the JMV Takeover
is tomorrow morning?
It's tomorrow night.
Tomorrow night, okay.
Tomorrow night, 6 until midnight, the all-request Saturday night, where I play request on B105.7. They turn it over to me. I'll have a live DJ Skids out there who will play request, and everybody can join and be a part of it coming up tomorrow night. So
awesome.
6 until midnight. That's what I would tell them to do coming up tomorrow night.
All right, and then the race day, how early should
race
people
day,
get here?
6 a.m. right down here. Me and Tony Katz, 93.5, 107.5 The Fan, and 93 WIBC. And we'll be able to see what you guys are doing on TV right up here,
Make sure
too.
you tune in. Fox 59, we start our coverage at 5 a.m., go from 5 till 10, and then Fox Network, Fox Sports takes over at 10.
And we do their weather. James, by the way, do we have a weather forecast for Fox 59 that's loaded up and ready to go? We don't. Normally we do, but we don't right now.
We will hopefully soon. I bet you it'll be Ethan Rossick
bringing
us the weather.
It may be.
Since Brian's in Pat's basement.
And we'll see you again. Thanks for coming by.
Thanks for having me.
Chelsea Helms is awesome right there, as you can tell. Quick break. We'll come back, James. Stream the app, HD Radio, AAA Membership Lounge via YouTube Live. And my man Thomas is on the inbound next. 93.5, 107.5 The Fan. Hey, it's John from Bullseye, eventgroup.com, and the Colts VIP tailgate presented by Hayes & Sons Restoration. All you can eat, all you can drink. That's the tailgate party. You got the entertainment and my good friend DJ Skids, and Kyle Kinnett has put this together. But with the recent release of the Colts schedule, you now know what games you want to attend. You got to make sure, because this is economical for you. You got to make sure you combo this together. Get your tickets with bullseyeeventgroup.com, and then combo that up with the Colts VIP tailgate. So this is all about a game day experience. I know it matters what happens inside the stadium, but your game day experience is made before you get there with the Colts VIP tailgate, presented by Hayes & Sons Restoration. So let's do it all together. Find out what games you like, cherry pick that, and combo it up with the Colts VIP tailgate, presented by Hayes & Sons Restoration. Every Colts home game, tickets, the pregame party, and more. Log on and be a part of it right now, bullseyeeventgroup.com. Hey, John here for Premier Weight Loss. 80 pounds later, I feel absolutely fantastic with PWLindy.com, and you will too. I saw Sam a little bit earlier. Sam helped me out all along the way, Sam and Lauren, and let me introduce you to the person that runs Premier Weight Loss in their 2 Indy area locations on the north side and in Fishers. Thomas is here with some great May advice with Premier Weight Loss. Thomas, go ahead.
Well, I am indeed, JMV. Thank you for having me on.
Yes.
It's been both a lot of fun being here today, and also the shirts seem like they've been a big hit.
Yes, the JMV Sucks Premier Weight Loss shirts. There's a little bit behind that, too. Some of the great deals you guys have going on right now.
We do, yeah. We a couple of different things. One, we've always been focused on in-person medical weight loss, but going forward, we're actually offering a very, very cool virtual weight loss option. So you can join our virtual care program right from home, and you actually receive a $379 at-home body composition scale when you do that.
So if you want to start on your weight loss journey right now, you can do that at PWLND.com. By the way, Thomas is going to rejoin about the Carb Day JMV Sucks Cottage Cheese T-shirts. They're tank tops on the other side with Premier Weight Loss in the 2 Indy area locations. Take advantage right now. Your weight loss journey begins now, and you can save, as Thomas mentioned, and we'll also reiterate, you can save big right now by getting on board. That's PWLND.com. Premier Weight Loss with 2 Indy area locations. PWLND.com today.
The Ride with JMV.
Pay him Pay that man his money.
93.5 and 107.5. The Fan.
All right, Smashing Pumpkins coming in October to Cambridge Fieldhouse. It is the 30-year anniversary and the celebration of the album Melancholy and the Infinite Sadness. Billy Corrigan and the Pumpkins. All right, James, number 30 on the text line. Let's get the text line moving, you guys. 317-239-1070. Smashing Pumpkins tickets. Number 30 is going to go on us on the text line. 317-239-1070. Smashing Pumpkins. I got to see this thing move, and I got this bad boy in front of me. Do not disappoint. 317-239-1070. Smashing Pumpkins tickets for you. I want to thank my friends Hammer and Nigel right over there. I see Big Nige and Hammer. They're doing their show, 93 WIBC. We did a combo platter, if you will, of a show a little bit earlier today in Pagoda Plaza that I absolutely loved. I love those guys anyway, and you know that. But I had such a great time doing that from 10 until noon. I want to thank them for involving me in that, and I wanted to thank all of our folks for allowing that, and our engineers. I see Nick and I see Cam and Dev here right now, just doing a great job making sure all is well with the stations and with what we're doing, especially with the rainfall right now. This has been, even with the rain, and we're not in Pagoda Plaza, and that part sucks, they are exceptional at what they do, and I got to thank everybody for that, including my next guest. Thomas is here from Premier Weight Loss, who joins us, I guess, kind of on the Andy Moore Automotive Group, and he's sitting right across from me right now. But you mentioned that Premier Weight Loss deal, and I tell you what, the shirts went crazy, Thomas, a little bit earlier today. The JMV Sucks Carb Day shirts, and we'll carry that over because they were going like crazy, and we'll carry that over to the JMV Takeover in Lot 6A coming up tomorrow night on B105.7.
Yeah, guys, if you're out tomorrow and you're a big JMV fan, come out to the show and grab one of the shirts. It's a very fun design, JMV Sucks tank top. Losing weight doesn't on the back.
There is no doubt, and that has been one of the staples of me losing weight, and the modifying of what was normalcy for me with the diet has been that of cottage cheese, and it's worked.
Yeah, if there's one thing we know, we didn't know how successful cottage cheese as a diet could be until we met you.
It is on fire right now. It does. Some of it doesn't stay on shelves. I don't know if anybody's noticed this. There are certain brands that normally, if you don't get there when they put it out, you end up being left out because it comes off the shelf. It's amazing how cottage cheese in general, I never thought I would say this, is on fire right now. It is.
I was going to say, it's almost like you're talking about it as if it was a rare whiskey.
Yes,
and
I know,
love
exactly.
That it's
I
cottage cheese
know.
instead.
Well, it is. And it's just trendy. It is trendy right now because everybody sees the value and the protein in it. And, you find your favorites, and some are obviously better than the others, and people are taking part.
Yeah, no, that's I got to say, I don't think I've been a big connoisseur in the cottage cheese market since I was in high school trying to put weight on for football.
Yeah.
But I might have to dive back in myself.
You got it. And I follow this. There's a new one out there right now that was released as of April. It's called Mulu, and you can find it. They carry it at Walmart locations, MULU. And it is outstanding. It may be. I thought Good Culture was pretty good, but Mulu, I think, is even better here. So it is funny how people, I think it's made by the American Dairy Association, so you can see everybody kind of taking part in this whole trend of cottage cheese. And I would like to give us all credit with Premier Weight Loss for starting that. I think we started that particular trend.
I think we must have. I think it was honestly the JMV cottage cheese trend. It's starting to blow up nationwide.
Nationwide it is. You guys have blown up around here as well. Explain to folks out there, Thomas, while now is a great time to join the Premier Weight Loss program and get started on your very own journey.
Yeah, well, there's a lot of reasons. Honestly, it's always a good time to kind of kick off your health journey. But we do have a very, very fun new option that seems to be incredibly popular right now, which is the ability to join our program from the comfort of your home via virtual care.
Sure.
So a lot of people are used to like the Rose of the world or the Hims of the world, where all you do is fill out a survey, you get a prescription. With us, you actually get true medical care, meet with the doctor, all from the comfort of your home. And by signing up for the program, you get a $379 at-home body composition scale for free. So, long story short, whether you're a member or not in the future, as long as you sign up, you will have that body comp scale. It is yours, and people seem to love the data on it.
And I will say this, the reason why you guys are taking off big is because of what you guys do, the services you provide, the help, the goals that are met. It's taking off big time, too.
Oh, yeah, it's been pretty awesome. I mean, now our patients are down over 65,000 pounds. So that's a stat
That's
we're
incredible.
Very, very proud of.
Yeah.
And then the other piece is just we're doing it without losing people muscle.
Yeah.
And I don't want to say that people don't ever lose muscle, but we kind of pride ourselves on helping people lose weight, but do it not only in a healthy way, but literally look more fit. I think you're a perfect example. Kind of got the guns going.
Yeah.
Now.
So and I saw Sam a little bit earlier. Sam is a colleague of yours at Premier Weight Loss, and the great part about it is she and others within your facility, they keep people in line. They keep you goal-oriented. You find out every month where you are and what's working and what isn't, but they keep you on track to reach those goals. I don't know where I would be without Sam. Sam and Lauren, to me, have been just spectacular.
Yeah, Sam is actually one of my first 4 employees. So when he started the company, she was one of our
Sam
nurse
Pugh,
practitioners.
everybody, by the way, right there.
Yeah,
And I
Sam
saw her a little
Pugh.
bit earlier today.
She is phenomenal, and I would say she is an expert when it comes to medical weight loss and an expert when it comes to Carb Day because she is here every year.
Well, she's a big fan. She goes to the race, and I always see her out in Pagoda Plaza. I saw Lauren's husband, whom I've never met. I think Jacob is Lauren's husband's name a little bit earlier, too. It's just cool to see that. But I want to remind folks who may be a little bit skeptical about it, man, they treat you so well, but they make sure you maintain on track, and that's as important because you always get in the hustle and bustle, and sometimes you get caught up, but they make sure they reel you back in, and they help me reach the goals that I never felt I'd be able to reach.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I think I'm a great example. Or, honestly, Sam might be an even better one, which when I met Sam and brought her on, I didn't think she had any weight to lose. But once she got on the body composition scan, this, that, the other, it actually kicked off a fitness journey for her.
Yeah.
And if you talked to Sam and had her on this show, she'd be talking about how just incredible of a life change it was knowing
She's
all of
hardcore
that
now.
data.
Yeah.
Now she's a fitness junkie in incredible shape. And I honestly viewed her as in great shape when I met her, and yet she's been able to get in such better shape. So just, I guess, the ways it can change your life is amazing.
All right, Thomas, in closing here, how can people get involved with it? Because I know a lot of people come up to me. We got the shirts for tomorrow night. We know that, and thank you for those. But I want to get people on their very own weight loss journey because now is a great time.
Yes, it is. I'd say go to pwlindy.com. That's pwlindy.com, or give us a call at 317-643-4444.
It's awesome. Thanks for all you've done for me. I mean,
course.
I have been reinvented, and I often say this, and this is 100% true. I don't think I've ever been going back. I probably have to go back to elementary to be this weight and feel this good, and I don't think I've ever been in this type of shape. But thank you, pal. I appreciate it.
Hey, you are very welcome.
It's my man Thomas right there, pwlindy.com. Get involved if you want to lose the weight, if you want to feel better, if you're looking to look better, if you want to do some of the things that you haven't done in a while. And the best part about this is if you just want to feel better and be more healthy, this will help. You do the work alongside. The process will be expedited. That's pwlindy.com. The month of May is a great time to get started today. Thomas, thank you very much.
Oh, of course.
Quick break. We'll come back with you. We've got more to come, including some re-rack conversations with drivers ahead. You going to join me? You got to go. Alexa, you can sit down here for a second. Yeah, maybe you can, maybe you can't. I got to hit a break right now because you guys are going to give us weather updates. Got a weather update for you on this Carb Day. James, let's roll that, courtesy of Fox 59. Hey, John here for the best in realty. Mark Dietel Realty, 317-755-4232. That's markdietel.com, MarkDietel.com today. I know we're approaching graduations for a lot of families out there, and maybe you're thinking logically about some things, and one would be whether or not you want to move forward with the amount of space you have in your home presently if you're empty nesting it. And I'm telling you, if you're thinking about that or maybe thinking about growing the family, whatever the case, the versatility of Mark Dietel is absolutely there. Mark Dietel can get the job done in the fashion in which you want it done. Mark Dietel guarantees your home sold at a mutually agreed upon price and deadline, or he will buy it. Pick your move date. There are no long-term contracts. You can cancel at any time. In fact, Mark Dietel is the only real estate expert I trust and recommend with the sale of my home. It's Mark Dietel today. For whatever you need, give him a call, 317-755-4232. That's markdietel.com, MarkDietel.com today. Hey, Big Red Liquors powers the JMV takeover. That's tomorrow night in the Bronze Fun Time Camper in Lot 6A. You guys can all join us there. And make sure you slide by Big Red Liquor for all your racing weekend supplies. All that you're looking for, from Bud to Bud Light to Miller Lite, obviously, to Michelob Ultra, Modelo Oro, Corona Premier, all that and then some you're going to find for the fast weekend of fun here in Central Indiana at one of the 100-plus Big Red Liquors locations. In fact, 19 new here in the Indianapolis area. That is Big Red Liquors powers the JMV takeover, as it will tomorrow night inside Lot 6A in the Bronze Fun Time Camper. Make sure you join us and you're a part of it too. And to find that, Big Red Liquors location nearest you. That's BigRedLiquors.com.
The Ride with JMV.
Have you ever killed anyone?
Yeah, but they were all bad.
93.5 and 107.5. The Fan.
Media Center Carb Day. Carb Day's wet. We're inside. Thank you for joining us. The Valkyries and the Fever, 7:30. You can see that on Ion later on tonight. Tomorrow night, JMV Takeover begins at 6 until midnight. The Bronze Fun Time Camper, powered by Big Red Liquors and High Noon Hard Seltzer with the double shot power. Me, DJ Skids, Laura Steele, inside the Bronze Fun Time Camper, and you all can join us. That is Lot 6A, right across from where I'm sitting right now in the Media Center, right across Georgetown. Tomorrow night, the JMV Takeover. Dan Panto, shout out to Dan's going to be running things back at the studio. We start live and all request style at 6 o'clock tomorrow night on B105.7. And this reminder, too, we start our race coverage, me and Tony Katz, promptly 6 a.m. from Pagoda Plaza. That is coming up on Sunday morning, 6 until 11, 93.5, 107.5 The Fan, and 93 WIBC. Thomas Reed joins us here from Premier Weight Loss. He's just going to hang for a little bit. And Alexa Ross of Fox 59. CBS 4 and Fox 59, is it both? You do both?
I do them both.
Double duties right there?
Yes, sir.
So you wanted to mention Alexander Rossi. You were around.
Yes, I was around when he got out of the car after the almost completely green flag 2-hour session. And he was in a good mood. And I know we love to make fun of Rossi for being a little grumpy all the time, but, you know, I think he was just happy to get back out in that car. He's driving, obviously his car was destroyed in Monday's crash, but he's driving the car he drove last year during the 500.
Okay.
A car he really liked and felt was really fast and very easily manageable. All that to say, all of the hyper-specific things they had done to this car this year were all really meant for qualifying. So it's not a huge loss to, obviously you want to be in the car you've been in all month, but there's more of a silver lining than, say, for someone like Connor Daly, whose floor got completely taken out by the debris and things like that. But, I mean, he's on crutches. He hobbled into the car. He was smiling. He was I think he's just happy to be in that race car because you know how an injury can go and how.
That's the most sense of normalcy you can find is what you're so used to right there.
For sure.
And you were so happy with the way things were going up until that point on Monday, and then you're trying to reclaim that. So I would understand that completely.
Yeah. So it's good to see him happy at least because, you know,
he's not always very happy.
And that's okay. You know, not everyone is the happiest person alive.
Yeah.
We can't all be Chris Hagan.
No, and I don't even know where he went. He left his stuff here and left. Did he have something to do?
Who knows? I never know where he is.
Do you not keep track of him?
No.
I thought you kept track of him. No.
I am not my father's keeper.
You're
Thank you.
not your
My papa's keeper.
Oh, no, man.
He calls himself Papa, guys. If you're.
Does he really?
Yeah.
No, he doesn't.
In the office, yeah.
Does he really call himself Papa in the office?
Yeah. Yeah, my papa's keeper.
I cannot wait to get on him for that.
And I hope
That's
you do.
That's embarrassing as hell right there, Papa.
Everything. He's a short ginger. Everything's embarrassing.
Wow, that's even worse.
That's what I'm saying.
Chelsea Helms unloaded on him a little bit earlier. Do you guys just always unload on him like that?
Okay, my theory and my practice is anything I would say, I have to say to your face.
Right on.
And I've said all of these things to his face.
Oh, no, I don't.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think you wouldn't say that to his face.
No, I'm not.
You guys unload on him pretty well. Does everybody else do the same thing over there to him? Nobody walks on eggshells around Hagan?
No.
All right.
No, absolutely not.
All right. So what else you got for us?
Switchfoot is sounding good, looking good.
Are they really?
There.
I haven't seen this on the screen. They're out there playing right now, too.
Yeah, they're all out there.
There are a lot of people. Is it raining out there right now?
I can't tell if it's still raining or if it was just raining. I mean, I know it was. I'm about to be live on television in approximately 12 minutes. And
the Switchfoot dude looks a little wet.
He does look a little wet,
yeah.
But also we have this on in our track office, which is kind of like a bunker, and we have the sound on, so we hear them performing. They sound great, but they were saying how
that guy looks like me in 1995 right there.
Can you pull up pictures? I don't believe you.
I know. I can definitely show you pictures.
I believe it.
I can definitely show you pictures. It wasn't a great look that I was sporting back then. Let me tell you.
He's going straight. They're going straight to a show in Canada from here. They're doing the double. Basically.
All right, there they are. And then
they're
obviously
starting at Carb Day and going to another show.
County Crows comes up afterwards as well. What responsibilities do you have race day, Alexa?
Race day, I will be all over the place. I'll be getting here I'm not getting here as early as the Chris's, who are doing driver interviews in the garages for our 5-hour morning show, because I have to anchor later that evening. So we'll get here when we get here after leaving at a very early time. I'll probably be on hospital duty. Fingers crossed that obviously nothing bad happens.
All is good.
You know, capturing different content from the grid as we prepare for the race, and just excited for number 5 for me.
Wave at everybody right there. This is Alexa Ross, Fox 59 and CBS 4. Thanks for sliding by here, girl.
I'll come by later, too.
Thanks
Let's go
for
get ready to
making
be on
time
television.
for us. That is Alexa Ross
Thank you
of
for having me.
CBS 4 and Fox 59 joining us. Thomas rejoins as well. Are you going to be out here for race day?
I think so. I'm
You
not
think
100%
so,
sure, but
not
I think
100% sure, but you think so too. Why? I know a lot of your office is out here. Out here today, and they're going to be out here again coming up on race day too.
I think just about everyone's going to make it. My 9-week-old baby is the only reason I'm up in the air.
Yeah, that is problematic. Yeah, I mean, not problem. I don't want to say that sounds terrible.
In a way,
that is not problematic, but your responsibilities lie elsewhere. We shall say that.
Yes. It's the first year where I've actually had to make sure to stay in charge of another living being instead of just come to the race and have a blast.
I'm just like balancing stuff all the time myself right now. I don't know where somebody is, but we'll locate him. I can't thank you enough for all that you've done for the show and helping me out too. And again, I would reiterate to everybody out there, if you're thinking about making a change, man, Premier Weight Loss is it here, because it's what it's done to me. And I can't really, how impactful and the profoundness of this change, I don't know what I'd do without it right now. It's great.
We want to thank you too, because I think around 200 to 250 of your listeners have become members at some point since you started.
That's awesome.
I'll have to run the numbers someday and figure out how much weight you've lost your listeners.
Yeah,
that would be a pretty cool.
We got to do that.
Yeah, that would be a pretty cool thing.
That is PWLindy.com, my man Thomas. Thomas, thank you very much.
You are welcome.
Thomas is outstanding. All right, James, we'll come back. I know we're going to re-rack some drivers from the show earlier this week. We're going to do that coming up on the other side. And, again, I'll remind you exactly what we're going to be doing tomorrow night and then coming up again on Sunday morning with all of our stations out here. We're staked out inside the media center. It is raining. Switchfoot is playing. Counting Crows coming up after that. IMS for the 110th running of the greatest spectacle in racing coming up on Sunday. This is Carb Day 2026 coverage with 93.5 and 107.5 The Fan. Hey, it's John here for Andy Moore Buick GMC, 131st and State Road 37. That is in Fishers, and my man Eric Wilson has you set up with the vehicle of your choice. Now, a lot of you are looking for that option of what you're going to do coming up for the summertime and that summer vacation on that road trip. The Buick Enclave is absolutely perfect for you, too, and different styles for the entire family. Family fun on the road with a vehicle that you can trust. It translates to you. It is spectacular. You got different styles. They have the inventory. They have the specials. That's those incentives to buy, which is a big coupon for what you purchase, too. And then the service after the sale is unmatched. My friend Eric Wilson and Rob and Indiana's best, Andy Moore Buick GMC, 131st, State Road 37. That's in Fishers. Hey, John, for BullseyeEventGroup.com, the Colts VIP tailgate presented by Hayes & Sons Restoration. You can log on and make sure, well, you combo this up, and here's what I mean by that. You can find the best game, the games of your choice, and then combo that up with a Colts VIP tailgate. That's all you can eat, all you can drink before every Colts home game. Kyle Kinnett is elite at putting this together. In fact, the rest of the NFL follows along with Kyle's lead about the game day experience. And it starts with the Colts VIP tailgate presented by Hayes & Sons Restoration. But you got to get tickets to the game and combo it up. You can save money and make sure that your game day experience with the Colts in 2026 is spectacular. That's with BullseyeEventGroup.com. The Colts VIP tailgate presented by Hayes & Sons Restoration. Log on and get your passes now and combo it up with tickets to your favorite games of the 2026 Colts schedule. That's BullseyeEventGroup.com.
The Ride with JMV.
Here's Johnny. Down. David Letterman.
Hi, David. I'm Grandpa.
93.5 and 107.5. The Fan.
Great job out of James back there, to the Hensley Legal Group Command Center at Happens Higher Hensley. Thank you all for joining us today. We've got re-ranked drivers from this week that are going to participate in the 110 coming up on Sunday. Hammer and Nigel had a great time with them earlier today. Our engineering staff, I see Nick Lopez over there in the gang, were absolutely outstanding. Leah, what a sweetheart right there, too. She has been awesome, too. Thank you very much. And we'll do it again coming up tomorrow night. JMV Takeover, Lot 6A. You guys can all join us, too. It's all inclusive, no wristband necessary. Just join us. Bring your chair, your blanket, your refreshments. And we're going to have ourselves an all-request party live with the JMV Takeover tomorrow night. That is on B105.7, 6 p.m., but we'll be there long before that in our Braun's Fun Time camper. Thank you, Austin Braun. He's going to drop that in the morning, and I'll be out there, and I'll look for everybody out there throughout the course of the afternoon. And again, I want to thank everybody involved with that. Big Red Liquors powers that. My man Romy and High Noon Hard Seltzer tomorrow night, too. And keep in mind, Tony Katz and I will anchor the coverage coming up for the 110 on Sunday. 6 a.m. until 11. That's 93.5 and 107.5 The Fan and 93 WIBC for your race coverage with me and Tony Katz coming up on Sunday morning. That is going to be in what will be, I promise you this, an incredibly dry Pagoda Plaza coming up on Sunday morning after a night where I basically don't sleep, and you know what's going to happen with the Bronze Fontaine camper in Lot 6A, or if you don't, you better find out for yourself coming up tomorrow night. This is a weekend that I love, and I can't thank you all enough from being out there earlier. I love hanging out with you. So never feel nervous about coming up and hanging, because I love hanging with you all. This is the absolute best time of the year for me, and I want to thank you all for playing such a profound role in that. James back at the studio, Caleb a little bit earlier today as well. Todd Meyer has been awesome. David Wood, you guys all, thank you very much. Andrea, and really everybody in our building for such incredible support. The Valkyries and the Fever coming up later on tonight. 7:30 your coverage is over on 93 WIBC. James, give that countdown to me one more time too, my man. I appreciate you. Valkyries and the Fever at 7:30 later on this evening. You can see that, too, by the way, on Ion coming up tonight. But 93 WIBC, because we continue to have your race coverage coming up with everything. Really, Aquarian Company awesome today, too, going all the way back to the Fan Morning Show. Doug Bowles, by the way, here's what I've heard, too. This is just handed to me. Tomorrow night for the JMV Takeover, James, Doug Bowles, Speedway and IndyCar president, and Tony Kanaan, I believe, is going to join Doug over in Lot 6A with us coming up tomorrow night for the JMV Takeover. I have heard that Doug Bowles, who is for sure coming, but Doug told me earlier today that I could expect Tony Kanaan as well to be a part of it. It is going to be outstanding. Coming up tomorrow night for the JMV Take. I live for this stuff. I really do. And I like kind of making it up as we go along, which is even more special for that, for real. But Doug Bowles, Speedway president, and expect Tony Kanaan to join us over in the Bronze Fun Time camper coming up. That is tomorrow evening, 6 until midnight, the all-request Saturday night. And just so you know, a year ago there was no sleep, and we hung the entire time. Chris Hagan, thank you very much. Give a quick shout-out here. We got to run.
I'm Chris Hagan. I love you all. Have a great race weekend.
That's Chris Hagan of Fox 59 right there. All right, coming up right now, if you missed it, our conversation with Ryan Hunter-Reay. Close a year ago. How close will he be this year? We'll talk a little bit more right now with Ryan.
The Andy Moore Automotive Group hotline. We're talking a former winner of the greatest spectacle in racing. Let's bring on board here Ryan Hunter-Reay, who joins us now. Hey, Ryan, thank you for the time. How are you?
I'm doing great, guys. Thanks for having me on.
Hey, Ryan, one-off situations, the difficulties, the pluses and the minuses of doing something like this as a driver.
Yeah, I mean, it's unique with, especially with Arrow McLaren. It's such a big team, and I've been basically embedded in the program since the beginning of the season, so I don't really feel like a one-off. The tough part is, I guess, getting a group of people together in the most competitive racing series in the world, in the biggest event, the biggest race in the world, and executing flawlessly and on one day. I think that's the hardest or the biggest uphill climb, I guess you can say, is just trying to sort that out. But man, they've thrown all the talent at it, and I'm thrilled to be here. That's for sure.
So Ryan Hunter-Reay is with us. How empty was the feeling a year ago? Because it felt like you were primed to win another one, and you didn't. What was the feeling like at the end of that race when you kind of rewind that in your head?
It was beyond heartbreaking. Honestly, I didn't sleep well for days after that, and it was really because, our primary car that we had worked the team had built all year and worked so hard on, burnt down on Carb day, and we had to go to basically an unproven kind of pit stop practice car that was in the shop. They brought it over. It had never turned a lap when I went into turn one, lap one of the Indy 500, it was his first kind of, go at it. And, I had to see what I had under me. I had to, kind of feel it out. And we had to make aero adjustments through the whole race. And the fact that we were going to come out in front of the eventual leader, Alex Blow, with 2 lap cars between what would have been us and him, it's just, it's gut-wrenching, man. But that's the Indy 500. That's why it'll deal, the greatest blows, and it'll give you the most amazing moments of your life.
Do people not know? People, when you and others would suggest that really IMS dictates terms on the champion so much. You don't really understand that until you're behind the wheel, until you live it. I'm assuming, like you have in this case, right? You don't truly understand it. Even if you say it, you just don't understand.
Yeah, correct. It is. It's that way. And honestly, I've experienced every high and low this place has to offer. Being on the front row, being on the back row, being bumped out, winning the race, having it, ripped from my hands within sight of victory. All facets of it, and honestly, just makes me love the place even more and respect it even more. It is like nothing else in racing or in sports.
I've always wanted to ask this of you, and I will right here. Does the joy of winning, does it outweigh the kick in the groin of the circumstances that go in the negative category?
I mean, I'd have to say yes. The ones that have got away, they haunt me more than I feel like I think about the win. But like many drivers told me after the race, they're like, hey, at least you have one, man. And I'm like, oh, that doesn't make me feel much better, but I get it from their perspective, So it's all about perspective, and yeah, I mean, winning Indy was I was a tiny little kid in front of the TV watching my heroes race this race, and I ended up winning the thing. So I have to be thankful for that, and I am. But that doesn't make it any easier when a second gets away from you.
From Arrow McLaren, it's Ryan Hunter-Reay. He's on the Andy Moore Automotive Group hotline. Carb Day coming up on Friday, 1:10 coming up on Sunday morning. Again, Tony Katz and I, Pagoda Plaza. We start at 6 a.m. until 11, getting you set for that 93.5, 107.5 The Fan, 93 WIBC. Do you enjoy this portion of your career more than when you first started? Because listen, I always like to know from veterans like you, where are you right now and how much you enjoy it compared to not knowing what to expect for the first time of being a part of this. What's been more enjoyable for you as far as your career is concerned?
I mean, I can't say one or the other. My days at Andretti when we were kicking ass all the time was awesome, and wouldn't replace it for anything in the world. It's just another chapter in the book, it's just a different page. And, really focusing on the 500 to me it's so pure, and I love it. Right. I mean, Indy's everything. And, to be able to work with a really talented group of people for months and months, preparing for these 2 weeks, is an incredible experience. But yeah, I mean, like I said, they're just different chapters in a book, and one thing's kind of common denominator between them is that winning at Indy means everything, and that's been my sole focus from day one of my career to where I am now.
Ryan, is this competitive fix you have in competing in the Indy 500, is that a must for you? Can you envision yourself without the Indy 500 and not racing in this right now? Is that a fix you have to have?
I mean, when it comes to competing in it, I'm never here to be a part of it, right? I'm never here to be an IndyCar driver or be a driver in the race. I'm here, and I make these decisions every year because I want to win it. Do I have the pieces to the puzzle to win it? Is that being offered to me? Is it possible? And that's when I make my decisions. I'm too competitive to do it otherwise. And no, I mean, Indy will always be, it's part of my fabric. It's who I am, right? It's part of not just an Indy 500 winner. It's just a part of, my kids love this place more than Disney World. It's a family thing as well. And it's given me so much over the years, and I'm extremely, extremely grateful for it, honestly. So, yeah, got another shot at it here, and with an incredible team at Arrow McLaren and an incredible group of people. And, man, when I have that behind me, I give 125%, that's for sure.
You roll off 22nd. Do you feel like you have the pieces this year to get where you want to go?
Well, last year we rolled off 24th or 25th and almost won it. I won from 19th, so it's a race, and it's 500 miles. It's a long one, and it's that for a reason. So anything can happen on race day, to anybody, positive or negative. But I know, with my experience and the big picture kind of mentality that I have, I know when to push, when to have controlled aggression, when to not. And, I'm going to do my best to apply all that on Sunday.
He is Ryan Hunter-Reay of Arrow McLaren. He rolls off 22nd coming up on Sunday for the 110th running of the Indianapolis 500. And Ryan's on the Andy Moore Automotive Group hotline. So I just talked to Will Power, and I was talking to him about having the resource of Mauro Andretti and the advice that he can provide, not only as a former champion, but certainly as a guy that's been around that track forever and as ambassador for the track and for the sport in general. Where's the best advice you ever received regarding this race? Does anything stand out to you? Because I'm assuming you probably have taken bits and pieces over your career from guys that have been there and done that. But what's the best advice you've ever received about this race from somebody?
Honestly, it hasn't necessarily been advice from somebody where they're like, hey, sit down. I want to talk to you for 15 minutes. This is years and years and years of having worked with super talented teammates like Tony Kanaan, and all of them all the way through. I've raced for 10 different IndyCar teams, and I've amassed a ton of relationships and experience and knowledge along those lines. And, it's layering of those experiences really that impacts my bottom line when it comes to race day. It wasn't just one person one day sitting me down and saying, hey, you need to think about this. Other than that, never happened really. It was just more, the opportunities I've had, the people I've worked with, and you kind of put that all together and let it culminate into what it will on Sunday.
We're studying compared to being reactionary. Where does that? Where's the balance there? Because you're veteran. I'm assuming you're very patient in what you do. You mentioned how you've won this race and how far back you've been before, how far back you were with the potential of winning it a year ago. How do you balance the patience and this just being reactionary and going for it? How do you balance that as a veteran driver?
It's a mix of it, and you have to know when to apply, aggression and risk versus when you need to, throttle back and maybe instead of trying to make this pass happen in 2 laps, you make it happen over 4 or 5 or 6 or whatever it is. A lot of those things come kind of naturally, subconsciously, but some of it comes from studying, film from the year before and working through data and working through everything with the group. I mean, these cars over the years have changed in spec and how they're driven, and the tire has changed a bit, and you're just constantly studying all of the different variables in this kind of experiment we're doing. And you
Quick
become,
break. We'll come back.
Come to the
Carb Day 2026 with 93.5 107.5 The Fan.
And you put together everything that you know, and then from there you let your kind of instinct and natural ability take over.
If there was something you could change, and you think it would change this race or the car that you wheel for the better and be more competitive for everybody, is there anything that you would provide informationally speaking that you think would make this thing better? The race, the car, the racing itself?
I think the 28 car will be better in the fact that, it's going to be designed to have the aero screen, integrated into it, whereas this current car has had it added on. We've added on a hybrid. We've added on, side intrusion panels, all things that are necessary on the safety side. But once we have a car that's designed to carry this weight in certain areas that it does, I think we'll be way better racing. Like if you look back to like 14, like I said, when we started 19th, I carved my way through the field and was leading by halfway. With this car, you can't do that unless you've got some guys that had bad pit stops or you've had awesome pit stops and you jump a bunch of people in the pit sequence. So I think we need to get back to that. When you have a good race car, you should be able to knife your way through the field. As it is currently, it's difficult to do from, P4. So, we'll get there, but this car is certainly, and you will see on Sunday, it's gonna put on a great show, and this is the most competitive racing series in the world. So it just so happens to be at the biggest sporting event in the world as well. So it's a pretty cool combination.
2014, you won the greatest spectacle in racing. Was that your best car?
Yeah, I'd have to compare it to my 2016 car, which we were going to win that one as well. And I hate saying we would or we should or whatever. The thing was awesome. It was same feeling I had in 14. Unfortunately, we got taken out in a pit road incident. Somebody ran into us. So that happens. It's racing. But, I'd say 2014 and 2016 were my most dominant cars.
Hey, Ryan, that's a great segue, too, because I was going to ask you, and there's no need to name names. Hell, if you want to, you can, but I don't want you to have to feel obligated to do so. Do you look around who's around you on the starting grid and say, this is okay, or concerned about who's starting around you? Do you look at it that way?
Oh, you take stock in everybody. It's like different personalities. Same way, these guys drive race cars. Everybody. They're kind of nuances, what they might do, what they might not do, the sketchy ones, all that. So it's you just know who you're racing around.
You got me almost talked into picking you coming up on Sunday. What do you think?
You can't count me out, man. Never. I'll dig deeper and fight harder than anybody else. Just matters of what limitations we might not have. We'll see.
Well, I'm motivated by that, too. By the way, I know you got to run here, but Ed Carpenter can attest to this. I picked him like 5 consecutive years, and I think he's had his worst years ever. So he just said, would you stop picking my ass, please? Stop. So I don't really know. I don't know if you want me to pick you.
Impact on it. All good,
but
man.
Our hey, Ryan, our conversation has got me kind of inspired to select you to win this thing coming up on Sunday. I like what you're saying here.
Hopefully you're good luck then. If you're not, then don't, please. But
Errol McLaren driver and the former champion Ryan Hunter-Reay. He's on the Andy Moore Automotive Group hotline. Hey, the best of luck. Hopefully, Carb Day, you could get out there and shake things down the way you want it. And the 110 is magical for you coming up on Sunday. I appreciate your time, and let's do it again soon, Ryan. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for having me on.
Former champion Ryan Hunter-Reay with the one-off. Errol McLaren joining us. Carb Day 2026. And again, the coverage begins at 6 a.m. on Sunday morning leading up to the 110. Me and Tony Katz, you can catch us on 93 WIBC and 93.5 and 107.5 The Fan. That is coming up on Sunday morning beginning at 6 a.m. Yes, all the information you need on all the drivers, including, just like we just had that conversation with Ryan Hunter-Reay. Quick break. We'll come back. Don't go anywhere. Carb Day 2026, 93.5, 107.5 The Fan.
The Ride with JMV.
Sis boom ba. Sis boom ba. Describe the sound made when a sheep explodes.
93.5 and 107.5. The Fan.
Hey, welcome back. Carb Day 2026. You guys for joining us on this day where it's all about racing in front of the 110 coming up on Sunday. So much this weekend, but obviously talking about the racing and joining us now, the Andy Moore Automotive Group hotline. He will start fourth on the inside of row number 2. Felix Rosenquist joined us earlier this week, and we talked about a lot of things as far as preparation is concerned, including the weather coming up on Sunday. On the Andy Moore Automotive Group hotline, let's getting on here. He is a new father, the pride of Sweden, and he's going to roll off in row number 2, Meyershank Racing, and probably has a lot to talk about regarding the whole qualifying effort, especially late on Sunday. Felix Rosenquist joins us on the Andy Moore Automotive Group hotline. Hey, Felix, thank you for joining the show today. How are you?
I'm good. Thanks for having me.
I'm going to tell you what, I was watching on Sunday, and they made a lot with these changes in qualifying for the better without bumping, and it made it compelling. For you, did you have a feel how it was going to go, considering the moment you went out and those weather conditions that were changing basically every 30 seconds or so?
I think we had a pretty good idea. We have pretty advanced instruments these days to monitor the weather and stuff. But it was definitely a packed day. The fact that we missed Saturday and got it all in on Sunday was definitely great for us and the fans. But it was a long day. It was a long day in the office, and those runs feel like a lot more than 4 laps. It feels. When you're fighting the car, it feels like 400 laps sometimes. You just want it to be over with. But, it was a great day for us. We fell a little short in the Fast 6, but we were, fastest until that point. So we're definitely proud of the effort. Not sure exactly what happened in the Fast 6, but, glad we got it in and glad everyone loved the show.
Did you dig the format yourself? Did you like it?
I thought it was cool. I kind of missed the bumping part of it, to be honest. I think that's a tradition, but it was nice that everything happened in one day. I'm not sure. I haven't watched it from TV yet, but I've heard very good things. A lot of people told me that it was like a better format. So I think whatever the fans like, I'm all for it. But I think the bumping part of it is a cool thing. It's a tradition, and it makes it. It's not fun when you're the one of the few that are on the risk of getting bumped, but I think it makes for a good show as well. So
Felix Rosenquist joins us. He's in row number 2, starting out coming up in the 110, the greatest spectacle in racing. He's on the Andy Moore Automotive Group hotline. The thing I gathered, and I don't know if you took anything away from this, especially for the future, but do you think they can do all this in one day? Do they need to spread it out over 2, or do you like it when it's all the way that we had it this past Sunday because of the weather, all in one day?
I think you probably need it to be 2 days. I think the fact that we got it in one day was just because we had to, right? Like with the weather being our enemy on Saturday, you just had to do it. But I think it should be like a weekend thing. I think it's the greatest qualifying event in motorsports, and I think it deserves a whole weekend, and at least having the wiggle room, if something happens, you can kind of push it to the next day as we did. So I still think we should have it as it's always been.
Felix Rosenquist joins us. You've been in America long enough to know, and you've probably heard this saying before, this cliche sports-wise before, is that, things you can't control, you got to push through and you got to play through it. Or in your case, you got to focus and drive through it, I guess. And, that's a common saying with things that are out of your control to make sure you stay focused and not, kind of get all wobbly, all upset about something you can't control. But the weather, as you mentioned, absolutely everything that's going on, everything is coming. Does it make it difficult to stay focused on the things and not get angry about that thing you can't control in the weather? Because I'm sorry, being out there in that moment, I would have to think that would be virtually impossible not to say, well, I'm going to be hosed going out here right now because of the weather conditions. Is that something you can compartmentalize and focus in on and take a little bit away, or is that a factor in what you're doing in trying to qualify in the weather conditions that you found on Sunday afternoon at IMS?
Well, I think it's something with experience that you learn to handle a little better. Because you've been in different and difficult conditions before. And to be honest with you, like we all felt how gusty it was. And it definitely has an impact on the cars, but it has less of an impact than you might think. Like the general wind direction is what really changes from corner to corner. So if it's blowing, let's say, northerly wind, you will have understeer going into 3 and oversteer into 1, and you kind of have to change your tools a little bit over your run. But yeah, you'll be surprised how much we can kind of know what it's going to be like with gearing and driving style and changes in the car. Yeah, you just kind of do what you do. And as you say, you can't control it, right? So there's no reason to really get wound up. I think earlier in my career, I got more... I got nervous by watching. I was just staring at that windsock all day. I'm like, oh my God, this might be sketchy, And then when you do your run, you realize that it normally goes to plan. But we also had, yesterday and during practice, we had 3 cars crash in turn 2. And I think that was a direct result of a wind gust, because you could see Alexander Rossi's onboard. It's just, if your car is already loose and that wind gust is added on into the equation, and that could be enough for you to have a big crash. So yeah, it's tricky, but it's kind of like a sailboat, I guess, or a spaceship. Like you try to have the margin to deal with it as well. That's part of it. Like you can get away with a gnarly run once, but maybe you don't get away with it 3 times or 10 times. So you always keep these things in mind when you go out there.
I love the fact you referenced that as being wound up. Yes, I don't know how you would unwind from that, too, because you got to ride. The equipment and the personnel around you that has given you the fastest, certainly, if not that, one of the elite level fastest vehicles out there. And then all of a sudden, things don't go your direction. While out of your control, it would still lead me to be a little bit wound up, just like you said.
For sure. And it's, as you say, it's kind of about trusting the people around you. And I get super annoying as a driver on days like this. Like I'll ask my engineer for the wind conditions and the track temperature and the ambient temperature like every 5 minutes. And he's very patient. He's like, yeah, we've got 86. The track temperature is 108. The wind direction is 220 degrees, whatever. Like it's just a constant, because I want to be part of that. I want to know what difference it makes. And I want to be involved in that whole discussion. I think some drivers probably just trust, without asking, you just go out and do it. So everyone approaches it differently. But I think another aspect that is tough as a driver is when, like on Saturday, when you're waiting, it starts to rain and you don't know if they're going to cancel it. And you have that adrenaline built up, but then everyone starts talking about, am I cancel it? Am I not cancel it? And you start kind of losing that, adrenaline that takes you through the run. So that's also a very tricky situation where you think it's canceled, and then all of a sudden they're like, hey, you have to go in the car in 20 minutes and do a run. But that's something we face as IndyCar drivers a lot of time, and experience helps you to get through those times as well.
It's Felix Rosenqvist joining us again, row number 2. How much confidence do you have in your ride and your team right now? And Felix, how would that compare to the level of confidence you've had with rides and teams in the past at the Indy 500?
It's definitely up there amongst the best cars I've had here. Certainly qualifying was, a different level for us, especially those first 2 runs. But even in the race, to be honest, we've been looking, I think, amongst the strongest cars out there through the month. It's kind of hard to know. Like it's something you can't really monitor in terms of lap times. Like you almost have to look on track who looks strong in traffic, who's able to follow close. And I think we've been up there, but it's also been a lot of other really strong cars. So if I had this package 3 years ago, I would be like, oh, we're going to win it. But unfortunately, everyone else is getting better and they're learning the same things as we do. So again, like monitoring the weather, making sure that the last changes you do in your car going into the race, that's going to be huge and probably more important than ever. But we do, like My Shank Racing, I think our program is stronger than ever. Our pit stops have been really good this year. So I think we have all the tools. We have the starting position to go out there and do something special, but, we're just kind of trying to keep our head straight and, one lap at a time, or one stint at a time at least.
Go get it. It's always a pleasure to have you on. And again, congratulations to the addition to the family. And we'll check you out there coming up this weekend. Felix, thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Have a good one.
Felix Rosenquist on the Andy Moore Automotive Group hotline. Quick break. We'll come back. Carb Day 2026 with 93.5, 107.5 The Fan.
The Ride with JMV.
It's 106 miles to Chicago. We got a full tank of gas, half a pack of cigarettes. It's dark, and we're wearing sunglasses. Hit it.
93.5 and 107.5. The Fan.
Welcome back, Carb Day 2026. Thank you guys for joining us, too. This reminder, Tony Katz and I coming up on Sunday morning, co-anchor the coverage leading up to the 110th Indianapolis 500. Pagoda Plaza will be there for you. Cannot wait to see you Sunday morning, beginning at 6 a.m. on 93.5 and 107.5 The Fan and 93 WIBC. And one of the drivers we'll be talking about is somebody I talked to early in the week. It is Will Power.
Hey, let's hustle up right now. He's on the Andy Moore Automotive Group hotline. He is a former 500 champion, and he's a hell of a dude with Andretti Global. Let's welcome on board Will Power again to the Andy Moore Automotive Group hotline. Hey, Will, thank you for taking the time on this afternoon. How you feeling?
Feeling great. Feeling great. Just relaxing, getting ready for the race, all the stuff.
How much downtime do you actually have? And I guess I would kind of consider this downtime yapping with me, but how much downtime do you have when you're waiting for Carb Day and then obviously what takes place this weekend?
Actually, I had a full day off yesterday. It was the first day off since I got here. I had some appearances today, and I have a couple tomorrow, and then obviously you have Carb Day. Then, it's pretty busy from Carb Day on because you have the parade on Saturday and a few sponsor appearances and so on. So it's all good stuff, though. It's all part of the job.
You ever find yourself kind of breaking away and thinking about your ride and the team and trying to find the speed? Because so much can happen between what we've witnessed in practice and qualifying, right? And then how you end up performing on race day, because you've been down this path before. How much do you actually find yourself thinking about what might be coming up on Sunday? Does that dominate your thoughts at all, or do you break away from it?
It does. You definitely are in contact with your engineer and the team and discussing ideas and discussing the weather and, how much downforce you want to run, which is grip. You add downforce on, it just adds grip depending on how hot it is and so on. So it's an ongoing thing. The guys are obviously always working on the car. The cars are split apart right now. So a lot of work being done. It's crazy how much is involved in running a race car. It would just blow your mind, like how much it requires of people power and budget and so on.
Well, and you think about that, and then you also just think about in general, because you're a former champion here, and nobody would know this more than you would as a veteran driver, just how you could have the perfect car, but the dynamic of the weather and that track can break you away, can take you away from that. So really, you're almost at the mercy of that place come Sunday, regardless of how you feel about your car.
That is true. You do have adjustments within the car, and the team can change the front wing angle, which adds, load or takes load off the front axle. But yes, a very temperamental place for wind, weather, temperature, track temperature. Obviously, strategy plays a part in it. So it's a difficult race to win. Simply, you walk that tightrope, right? Like it's always, the car's always on edge, and you're at tremendous speed. So if you can get yourself in that position at the end of the race to fight it out, that's it's a big deal, and that's where I hope to be on Sunday.
It's Andretti Global's Will Power on the Andy Moore Automotive Group hotline. And then you guys are searching for speed right now. What are you guys thinking about what's been missing that can be added either on Carb Day Friday to feel better about it, or certainly on race day Sunday itself?
I would say that our race pace is our strength. Qualifying, certainly not. Obviously, a lot of homework to do in the off season and development. We did a lot of work leading up to it. It's very short. By the time I joined the team, January 1st to now is a short amount of time when you're talking about building an Indy 500 car. So, believe me, we're all kind of scratching our heads after qualifying, like where was the speed? So that's for another time. But pace in race trim is really good. Getting through traffic, the car feels good. When you're sitting in all that dirty air, which means you're behind a bunch of cars, and there's a ton of turbulence, which makes the car feel like you're on an aeroplane when it has turbulence. So it's anyone can win this race. Believe me, it doesn't matter where you start. Anyone can win this race. I think you always got to keep that in mind. Never get desperate, and just try execute a really perfect day.
Is that something you've learned over the years? Because how you just described this is, to me, a relative amount of patience in the process of what you're doing right here. Is that patience come with just time and time again and with age of going through this? Not even so much in 2018 and winning at Will, but just in terms of dealing with this, staying patient, and then, understanding the moment where you can go for it or the moment where you kind of hold off a little bit. Does that only come with experience, not just here, but as a driver in general?
It definitely comes with experience. I mean, there's so many times you finished a race or not finished a race, let's say, or had a bad result. And it's just if I'd just been a bit patient. And that's a balancing act, like how far do you push it and at what point? And that's the real complexity of racing. It's easy to throw it all the way early in the race on an unnecessary move. But it's also easy to give up a win trying to be too conservative and you never make it to the front. So you've got to understand that balance. You've got to understand what your car will take, because sometimes you simply just don't have the car for it. And then maybe you throw an off strategy move. You say, look, we're gonna take fuel and tires here while everyone stays out, and it plays out for you. So many scenarios. It's obviously very complex, and you've just got to keep your head in the game, and yes, be patient for sure. You got to, like Rick Mears would always say, spend the first half getting to the second half.
That's Will Power with us from Andretti Global. He's on the Andy Moore Automotive Group hotline. So, just keeping your car and, off the wall or out of an incident on Carb Day, that final practice, that's number one on the list. But what do you look for? Or in your case, how would you know that you have a successful Carb Day, and how you feel about this ride going into the 110th on Sunday, coming off of that final practice?
Well, it depends. It looks like it might rain, right, at noon. So chances are they're going to move that practice back, and it's going to be really cool. And the car will behave completely different when it's that cool compared to what it might be on race day. So I think Carb Day will be more of a systems check. It will be more of just like, look, it's not time for a science experiment here and completely changing the car. Let's just go through the processes, do a few pit stops, do a couple of in and outs to understand how does it break down when you're going 230 down to, it's 60 on pit lane. I think that's the smarter way. It's like you say, you don't want to end up, having an incident and then, losing all your confidence. The guys have to, rebuild the car, and then it's not the same, and so on and so on. So it's just, it's a tough place, man. That's all I'll say. This place, of all the tracks I've raced over the years, is the most confusing and tough place you can race at. It can be so satisfying, but then it can be also so brutally harsh. So that's why it's so exciting when you win. It's such a big deal when you win it.
Hey, how cool is it to have such a close resource in Mario Andretti around you and this particular race team? How important, how cool, just all of it. It just seems like it is such an incredible resource to have that is so multi-generational for a lot of reasons. How big is that for you with this team?
Mario is just, the epitome of a true racer. And it's really cool when he's on your stand, he's listening into the debriefs and the stories he can tell you. He's been through some serious eras of racing, including when he was racing Formula One. So, honestly, it's a real honor to drive for the name Andretti. I was, such a big fan of Mario and Michael growing up. So I feel privileged to be around him. Obviously, he has a tremendous amount of knowledge, so you can really bounce anything off him. And yes, he is a great resource for the team.
Oh, that's really cool. Will Power with us. He is on the Andy Moore Automotive Group hotline. Andretti Global getting set for Carb Day, whenever Carb Day is going to be. And then obviously the 110th. Do you have a lot more of these in you, do you feel? Have you ever thought about how this thing goes and how much more time you have? Is that a fair question to ask you right now, or is that one you'd rather be lobbed or have one lobbed at you like that later?
I still feel like I'm in my 20s.
Me too.
I'm still very fit and still fast. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't have continued if I didn't think that. I wouldn't have continued. I think if you put an actual date on your, retirement, it just is no good. So as long as you're doing well, keep at it. And you want that pressure, right? That you want to keep getting re-signed. You want that pressure there all the time. That subconscious pressure, it extracts the most out of you. So there's definitely no date on it, and I'm still fit as ever and still racing well. So that's where it sits right now.
You get a competition fix that it would be hard on any level. As maybe a team owner you could, but as a driver, it's just drastically different. You get that competition fix that I would imagine with somebody like you that's ultra competitive would be very difficult to be without.
Yes, that's, at the end of the day, once I've been doing this for a decade or so, I just came to the realization it wasn't the cool cars or the fast cars I was driving. It was actually the element of competition that I loved so much. The fact that you come in and look at a timing board and go, where do I actually stack up here? I think that's just what drives most of humanity. Most of any technology or anything you've ever seen, that humans have created is through competition. So competition is so ingrained in us that that will be very missed. I don't know how I'm going to deal with it once I stop, but I love competing.
It's a willpower right there. Well, keep on keeping on, man. The best of luck to you coming up on Sunday with Andretti Global. And we'll check back in. I mean, hell, who knows? Maybe you go for another one. We check back in next week with the champion. But you're always a great conversation, and we love having you on. Thanks for taking the time today.
No, great stuff. Thanks for having me on. Enjoy your afternoon.
Will Power joining us, Pagoda Plaza, Carb Day. We got a big weekend on tap for you. And hopefully for Will, as we just had that conversation, that Andretti Global finds the speed that has been eluding them so far in the month of May, coming up on Sunday. Our coverage on Sunday, of course, I'll tell you all about that when we start, when we conclude, and all the major players leading up to the 110th running of the Indianapolis 500. That and more coming up next. Carb Day 2026. Do not go anywhere. It's 93.5 and 107.5 The Fan. All for joining us. The 110th running of the Indianapolis 500 coming up on Sunday, and he's a part of ECR, Ed Carpenter Racing, in the Splenda ride. Christian Rasmusen joined us a little bit earlier this week to talk about how things have gone well for him so far in the month of May. On the Andy Moore Automotive Group hotline, he's a part of ECR and is in the middle of things coming up on Sunday. And we'll see how good that Christian Rasmusen feels about this past weekend and the 110 coming up on Sunday, the 110th running of the Indianapolis 500. Christian joins us now again on the Andy Moore Automotive Group hotline. Hey, Christian, thank you for the time. How are you?
Good, man. How are you?
Fantastic. So I'm curious. First off, teammate Alexander Rossi, how are things going from what you know?
From what I know, everything is going well. As you all probably know, he went into a surgery yesterday to get things fixed up, but we are confident that he will be back in a car this Friday.
Yeah,
weather permits.
That was a hard hit right there, without a doubt. It looked to be wind aided in that spin situation. Is that what went down?
Yeah, it looks like it. It's one of those things that he didn't necessarily do anything wrong in the situation. I've looked over his video and so on and so forth, and sometimes, man, the speedway just kind of chooses its victims, and stuff like that can happen for the best of us, and it obviously did, with Alex. So. Super unfortunate for him, for the whole 20 Java House crew. But that being said, I'm confident that they'll put together a great backup car for him, and he'll be back and ready to go come race day.
Christian Rasmusen joins us. Does that affect, or I guess I should ask you, Christian, what type of effect, if at all, does that have on other areas of the race team when something unfortunate, unforeseen like that happens yesterday?
Yeah, I mean, everyone is obviously bummed, and they've had a super strong car all month. So you never want to wreck your toy, especially not, when you're on race week. But that being said, stuff like that happens. It's racing. We all know it. So they'll just have to, get back after it, shake it off, and focus on what's ahead.
All right. How's your relationship with the Indianapolis Motor Speedway? I love asking this because it varies. It really does. It really kind of varies from, what experience was most recently. How's your relationship with IMS so far in your young career here?
I would say my relationship with the IMS is good. We've had some strong races there. I was the highest finishing rookie in my rookie year, finishing 12th. We finished 6th last year. So it's been good to me so far. We've had a pretty stress-free month. We've just been dialing in the car, trying to get it better all the time, which I feel like we have been doing. So I feel like we're in a good spot. I feel like we've made good progress throughout the month, and I'm excited to see what's ahead. Mass is kind of on my side. Finishing 12th the first year, 6th the second year. So maybe we're in for a big weekend.
From Copenhagen, Denmark, and you're from Europe, and I don't know if you're a fan of EDM and Martin Garrix or not. Are you a big Martin Garrix guy at all?
I like EDM.
Yes, well, I've been introduced. I'm old, but I've been introduced to that to my son, and Martin Garrix is one. And the reason why I bring that up is there seems to be with IMS a certain rhythm that you get when you're out there, and you want to maintain that rhythm. What is yours out there? What's your feel good as far as knowing what you're doing and feeling positive about what you're driving and the results you feel you're going to have at IMS?
I feel like it's very. It comes down to your procedure in a way. Like it's especially, coming back for a third year now, I kind of have a better understanding of what I need out of the car and what I want out of the car. So just having, a structured way of working towards that goal, I think is what gives me confidence in what I have and gives me confidence to go out and hopefully race for the win on Sunday.
So who's your favorite EDM artist? Do you have one?
Probably Fred again. Is probably my favorite right now.
I was the oldest guy. I went to Cincinnati with my son back in February to see Excision. Do you know who Excision is?
I am not familiar, no.
Yeah, I was by far the oldest person there, by far. and because that's going to be while you're driving and concentrating on different things. The Snake Pit will be active coming up on Sunday, and Zed is somebody that I know very well, and he's going to be headlining that event. I have seen Wooly, and Wooly is a part of that too. So I feel like I'm 56. I'm maybe the most well-versed 56-year-old in EDM imaginable.
Man, it sure
right
sounds
here.
like it.
Yeah, how about that? I'm trying not to show my age on this too. Speaking of,
I think you're doing very well.
Yeah, speaking of showing his age, a friend of mine is your boss, Ed Carpenter Racing, and he has suggested that in the past it's okay if you, the driver, if we make fun of him and maybe poke some fun at him. As a boss, how is Ed Carpenter for you? How has he been at ECR?
Well, he's been absent for this month. He turns in from team owner Ed, he turns into driver Ed, and he's quite different. But no, I love working with Ed. He was obviously he gave me my big chance first coming into IndyCar in the first place and has kept believing in me. So I love working with Ed. He's a huge resource, especially around the speedway as well as all the other races that we go to. So no, I love working with him, and it's been a great relationship so far.
When he's driver and not so much the owner in the month of May as he is being behind the wheel, does he offer up advice for you guys?
Oh, for sure. Yeah, for sure. I think, like I said, he's a huge resource, and whatever I need, whatever questions I have, he's always happy to help me out.
Does he offer up criticism at the same time during the month of May when he's a driver?
Well, I think that's part of good advice. I think is telling things like they are. So it depends on the situation, but I can always trust him to give me what he thinks.
It's Christian Rasmusen joins us from ECR on the Andy Moore Automotive Group hotline. So I was talking to Felix a little bit earlier, and we were going over the weather stuff. And, it's a common sports cliche or saying here in America where you just kind of push through it. And stuff you can't control, you block out and focus on the things you can. But can you ever really, truly block out the weather conditions? Because even when it is a glorious day to the fans or to the media or to us in general, it may not be great for you and what you're trying to accomplish at IMS. Can you ever truly block out what the weather situation is when you're out there, trying to find the results you're looking for?
Well, at the end of the day, it's the same for all of us, right? We're surrounded at the same place. We all have the same weather. So at the end of the day, like you say, for stuff like that, you don't really have any control over, and you just have to kind of see what it gets you, and hopefully we'll get the race in. I think it's looking better and better from what I've been looking at. So to answer your question straight, no, you can't completely block it out. Obviously, we're watching it and monitoring and to see what happens. But it's there's not really much you can do about it. So
you start, speaking of old guys like me, you start in row 5 with a couple of old guys. Is that good or bad? If you're going to start, you're going to start with old guys, would you rather start with old guys or young guys around you?
It's fine. It's good to know that you have experienced guys around you. I'll have Ed to the very inside of the row, so a little ECR sandwich there. But no, it's good. It's good to be around experienced guys, so I don't mind that.
Yeah, you got Taku in front of you too. That's the former champion. You got a lot, obviously next to you as well with Elio. You got a lot of incredible experience and some great results surrounding you to start that race on Sunday.
Yeah, for sure.
So Christian Rasmusen joins us. He's on the Andy Moore Automotive Group hotline. You say you like your time at IMS so far. How you feeling? Because now you got a little bit of a time window before hopefully you get to see what you got on Friday. We'll see how that goes. But how do you feel about your ride, your equipment, and your personnel going into the 110th running coming up on Sunday?
No, I'll say, going into this month of May, I would say the most confident I have ever been in my, still relatively short career in IndyCar. We're building on that, but no, very confident. I think we've had a super strong package all month long. Obviously, Alex got to show a little bit more of it in qualifying than both me and Ed, but it's a testament to that the cars really does have the speed, even though neither me or Ed quite got it done in qualifying. I think we have good cars, and in race trim as well. I feel like we're strong. So yeah, I'm very excited to see what we can do.
Hey, in terms of confidence that you have where you are right now and the team that you have and the car that you have, where's that? Considering not just Indy 500s of the past, but races of the past, is this pretty high level of confidence you have going into Sunday?
Oh, for sure. I think looking back on the history of ECR at the Speedway, this is definitely one of their stronger tracks in general. So being a part of that program definitely instills confidence in the whole thing.
I've been trying to get my logo on ECR, and I did once upon a time. I got my logo on Ed's car. He put it in a wheel well.
Yeah.
So there's a wheel. I don't know if it really led him. I think he was still kind of middling there, so I don't know if we ever accomplished doing that again. But the logo was in the wheel. I guess I should just be proud that it was someplace on there.
That's
so
right.
That was pretty
man,
special.
Hey,
It
whenever
is.
you can have your name on an Indy car, it's a pretty good day.
Well, no doubt, and it's always a good day to be out at IMS. And I tell you, go get them coming up on Sunday, because you're going to have so many people out. It's got to be incredible hitting that first turn when you're gathering speed, when the green flag flies. Is there anything like that moment for whether a young driver like you, or as we talked about, the older veteran driver? Is there anything like that experience?
Short answer, no. There's not. No, it's. I think it's the pinnacle of what we get to do as race car drivers is taking that first lap at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway for the 500.
It may be the pinnacle of a lot of things, sports. I don't know if there's anything when you go into that first turn. I can't imagine what that feels like, because things have to just all of a sudden things have to shrink, right? And your window shrinks, and it's got to be incredible.
Yeah, and especially with 33 cars on track, it definitely narrows in.
Yeah. All right, Christian, go get him. Tell Ed that I said hello, and best of luck to you coming up on Sunday. Thanks for joining us today.
Will do. Thank you very much for having me.
Christian Rasmusen joins us, and what's interesting, we'll go from driver to Grand Poobah, team owner of ECR, our good friend Ed Carpenter. Well, look at her. Hell, I'll just go ahead and go someplace else for the rest of the hour. Ed Carpenter, ECR, the Grand Poobah, also driving coming up on Sunday in the 110. The greatest spectacle in racing is on the Andy Moore Automotive Group hotline. You want to just go ahead and steer this thing the rest of the way?
You talking to me or Chapel?
Yeah, I'm talking to you. It's funny.
No, you're the head guy. Your show.
Hey, erase the tape. All right. Hey, one of these days when I'm out, you have to come here and do the show. I'm assuming you feel that you would be just fine doing 3 hours. If Hagen can do it, you can do it, right?
Yeah. How did Chris do? He said he was filling in for you until 5.
Fantastic. Fantastic as always, man. You guys are the salt of the earth. And I know you're getting asked this a lot. So is Alexander Rossi going to be good to go for the race, or will you drive both ECR rides on Sunday? What's going down?
There's no chance of me driving more than one.
Okay.
And Alex, I believe it has been announced is cleared to resume. So we're happy to have that behind us, and he's ready to go.
Was there a thought initially that could compromise his attempt in racing on Sunday when that happened?
I mean, honestly, at first I saw him get out and didn't even really think twice about it. When I got done with practice, once the weather hit, he wasn't back at the garage, and I knew he was still over there, so I went over and saw him. And I knew that they had to clean up a couple things, but, you know, he was pretty optimistic from the get-go and looked good. So I was pretty confident the whole time, but until you get the IndyCar medical team to clear off, you know, there's some level of anxiety until you get that. But they were fantastic. He's been doing everything humanly possible to be ready, and we've got a great opportunity for Sunday, not only with his Java House number 20, but the Christian's Splenda 21 and my Slim Fast car. So we're ready to go.
It is Ed Carpenter with us. Let's just say it, outside of that one little circumstance, right, which is not a little circumstance if you're the team owner, I get that, but outside of that one circumstance, ECR has had a hell of a month. Is this something you feel you guys can still be strong on Sunday, a hurdle, if you will, with that situation that you can be clear? Because, you know, everything was going pretty well for everybody up until that point, certainly.
Yeah, it's been a good month. You know, the cars have been really strong and competitive kind of throughout all of, you know, race prep and practice and qualifying. And I have full confidence in the backup car for Alex. Our team does such a great job building and prepping cars. The car he's going to is actually going to be a speedway car, and then we made a change in the middle of it and went with a different car, but it's actually prepared just the same as the other cars. So I don't think he's going to feel any negative effects of being in the backup car, and is going to be able to hold his number 2 starting spot. And hopefully all three of us meet at the front.
Obviously, Ed, the situation on Sunday will tell the tape for this year and the 110, as I mentioned a little bit earlier. But let's just say up until this point right now, and if we subtract the incident on the track with Rossi, has this been one of the best months you've had in either recent memory or just in general out at IMS?
I mean, we've had stronger months, I think, as far as the whole team qualifying average. You know, but taking that out of it, I would say it is one of our better months. I think the team came in really prepared. You know, we get so many laps there. You're certainly going to have some days where you're not as happy as others, but the cars have really responded well to changes. They've been strong, and on days where it's warm, cooler, windy, all the different conditions. So, you know, outside of some of the adversity that we've had to manage, I'm really happy with how it's gone and confident heading into Sunday.
Now, are you looking at weather forecast, or do you just ignore that, just worry about what happens once you guys get out there and things get underway?
I mean, I don't check it as much as the engineers do, but I look kind of a couple times a day. But it seems like it's trending better, you know, not only for Sunday, but also for tomorrow, which is a good thing for us and all the fans that'll be out there.
Yeah, and no doubt about that. Tomorrow looks a little rough, there's no doubt, but certainly Saturday and Sunday, for that matter, is looking a hell of a lot better, which is exactly what you want in this case. But it's weird how the last 2 years have been a little awkward for the weather. And a year ago was cold, so it seems like you've had everything, I think, seemingly thrown at you over the past 5 or so years, haven't you?
I mean, I've been doing this 23 years, so I've seen just about everything other than snow as a driver. But, you know, it's May in Indianapolis. We pack warm clothes and everything in between. So, you know, it's the same for everybody. You just got to go out and deal with it.
He is Ed Carpenter rocking the Slim Fast gear right there. Well done. Now, I like it. I admire it because you're the last dude on the earth that needs it. But I like you rocking the gear, though. That's well done out of you. Promote the product.
a couple of years ago, you would have been all over it, but you're already back to being slim again yourself.
Yeah, I would have been. You're right. I would have been all over it. I just didn't know I needed to be all over it until, doing what I did right now. Now I feel a hell of a lot better. The other thing that stands out to me is you have a great. It seems like you have a really, really strong relationship with sponsorships right now. And we go over this all the time because I like to talk about this particular angle and how it goes into the driving and being a team owner and all that. But is it as strong as it ever has been with ECR, with your group of sponsors?
Yeah, without a doubt it is. And, it's even better, given the fact that all of the brands essentially we have on the car, or all of our cars are mostly consumer-facing brands, so it just gives us more opportunities to do cool events and activations and interact with the fans and get product in everybody's hands. And for the most part, they're all Indiana-based as well, which is special to me. So it's exciting, and more importantly, you can't spell Slim Fast without I'm Fast. It's kind of the motto of the month. So we're having a good time.
Thanks, Ed.
All right, see you, John.